Hello, I'm Mo Speaks. If you're new here, like, subscribe, share, because why wouldn't you? So I was on X, and there's, all right, so I troll on X. What's up, Lester? I was trolling on X, and I came across a video from a young lady named Lisa Knows. Uh, knows as if in I know this, I know that. And she does not like Candace Owens. Um, and she does these debunk videos. I think she does it on TikTok also. I linked all of her information in my description. I think it's important to listen to both sides. So there's another guy that I follow named Zach. I think it's Costello. I put him in the description also. I want to make sure I get it right. Castillo, sorry, Castillo. And I actually like his content and I follow his content. Not that I don't like hers, I just don't agree with it. But I still watch people that I don't agree with because I like hearing what the other side is thinking. It's interesting to me. I also like hearing why they think what they think. So when I was watching this video, I made a comment on the video, and I don't know if she deleted her response or if when I relocated my comment, I deleted it. But she challenged me to do something, and I did it. So I'm gonna show that really quick. Oh, title today's live is Erika Kirk messaging or messages a 15-year-old. Is that appropriate? Is that inappropriate? And that's what they're going to be debating. So Zach Castillo and Lisa Knows decided to do a debate, and it was Friday, like I said. And when I saw that, I wish I could have caught it live. I just didn't catch it live, but I wanted to react to it because it's a very good illustration of how both sides think so differently. And what's even weirder is that I think both of these people are on the right. And that's what's dividing the right wing right now. You want to call it that. I'm not a Republican, so I don't care about Republicans. I'm way to the right of Republicans. But when I was watching her video, I'm like, no, that's not true, or I disagree with that, or no. And then Zach Castillo did not a debunking of the debunking, but he did a reaction to her videos. And I saw one of them, I didn't see the other one. But once I saw that they were going to actually speak, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I want to watch this. And when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, this is really good, productive. It gets heated. I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but the part that I really wanted to focus on is um, what I'm going to play today. And again, I think it's important that we look at what the other side is thinking and how they're thinking. And that's what I'm going to do today. So, but before that, again, I'm going to go and show you guys what happened with me and this young lady, because I'm not sure what she did was on purpose. I want to be fair. Um, I was gonna go in on her videos, but I was like, you know what? I want to be fair because if people lean that way or think like she thinks, I would rather show them our side from a non-trolling way, like I normally troll on X, and I don't want to do that with this topic. I want people like her to understand. You know what? Okay, there is legitimacy to how the Candace Owens side of people are looking at this because I think they assume we just believe anything she says. Uh, and it seems like, I could be wrong, it seems like they just disagree with anything she says. And that's what I wanted to highlight because on the right now, there is a divide, but it has nothing to do with Candace Owens. The Charlie Kirk unaliving in front of the world had played a really big role in what's going on. But it's not Candace Owens that's the problem. It's the federal government. It's always the federal government that is the problem on stuff like this because they're never honest. And that's what we're going to go over today. I'm curious as to why this young lady thinks that this is the thing that they're being honest with. I find that fascinating. I would love to hear why she thinks the way she does, but we'll get there. So this was the post. We'll listen to this video because I responded to something in this video in her comment section. So I want to hear this. It's only a minute. Whoops.
I don't drink. I find it unproductive. Stop. dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
All right, I'm gonna start it over.
Drink.
I'm gonna start it over because I can't hear. What's going on, KTC? I'm gonna start it over. Here we go.
I don't drink. I find it unproductive. Stop. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Stop. Stop.
You hate Erika Kirk because you've been told to, and that's the truth. Rage bait propaganda videos like this one are getting hundreds of thousands of views. Did you see how many likes are on that video? Almost 300K likes. Absolutely insane when everything in that video, every single piece of it, is a blatant lie. I don't drink because I find it to be unproductive is not the same as I have never drank. I didn't date while living in Manhattan is not the same as I have never dated before Charlie Kirk. Erika lived in Manhattan in 2018. She dated Tyler Massey in 2015, and she dated Cabot Phillips in 2017. Do you guys honestly think that a woman who got married in her 30s never dated a single man? And 90% of the hate against Erika Kirk has been created off of rage bait, clickbait, bullshit, just like this. That you can take to the bank.
All right, so she's wrong. And I immediately went in her comments. So again, normally on X, I'm trolling. But in this one, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be serious and I want to ask this lady a question. So I quoted, before we get to that one, I quoted this. I said, I've lived here for 5 years. I never dated here because, and Erika Kirk gave her reason why she didn't date in Manhattan, in New York, when she lived in New York. I said, you all trying to ignore and leave that 5-year fact out of the edit makes it even funnier to watch because you're lying about it. She said 5 years. No one made that up. Now, she responded to this, and I don't know where it is. I don't know. Maybe I commented somewhere else where she responded, but she responded and said she never said 5 years and asked for proof. And I said, if I can provide proof, actually, I'll show you what I said. So this person responded, she's not important. I really wish I could find out if she deleted her comment or if I did when I moved the comment, because I moved my comment to the main thread because I didn't want anybody to miss this, and I don't like when people communicate in sub threads. It's really annoying because nobody sees it unless you click on a comment and then you see all the comments underneath it. So let me make this bigger just so you guys can see this, because this is important. I said, let me move this to the main thread. I don't want it hidden in subthreads, just what I just told you guys. I said, let's see if you just didn't know that you said 5 years or if you're overtly lying. Here is literal proof. Will your ego allow you to correct it, or will you stick with something that's 100% false? Then I clipped up a video. Oh, this one I didn't clip up. Actually I did. I clipped this out of Erika Kirk saying exactly what this lady just said she didn't say. Let me play this.
But what I will say is when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way.
So to be fair, I put that up there because she was correct. She was correct in what she said about the drinking. Just because somebody says, I don't drink, doesn't mean they've never drank before. So she's right on that. But she absolutely said that I have not dated here. And she lived there for 5 years. There's no getting around this. I'll play it one more time, just so you guys can hear it.
But what I will say is when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years.
That's it.
I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
Okay, it does not get clearer than that. So I shared it. No response. Now she was responding to everybody in that thread that day. And I said, and I tagged this other chick. She's just a troll. I don't really care about hers. But I just said, I just want to see if you're capable of being honest, because there's no sense in going back and forth with somebody seriously if they're not going to be honest about what you're going back and forth for. Because at that point, it's just trolling. Then I can do that. I can do that all day long. She literally said when she lived there, which is Manhattan, was where this was shot, she did not date for 5 years. That's been proven false. Matter of fact, in this video, she proved it false by listing two people that she dated before Charlie Kirk. So it's wrong, and she needs to know that it's wrong. You can't be out here making videos like this that are just lies. Or you can just correct it. And then we'll know if you're being credible and if you're somebody that's worth watching going forward. Because if you're just going to lie, then you're just like a lot of other people on X, and that's what they do. She never responded. So this was my introduction to her. I'm like, what is she doing? So I watched a couple of her other videos, and I'm like, okay, oh, she just hates Candace Owens. That's fine. You can hate whoever you want to hate. I just don't like the dishonesty part. That's where I'm like, I want to see how this Zach Castillo debate goes with her over the text messages. If you guys don't know about the text messages, Erika Kirk in her past was text messaging a minor when she was 25 years old. She was text messaging a 15-year-old. Let me pull these up just so you guys have an idea of the type of messages they were. Can I do multiple? Nah, gotta do one at a time. I'm gonna pull them all up, or I'm gonna bring them in. I should have did this first. I apologize. And then I want to show you guys these because they're serious enough to say, what's going on here? Now, do they fall under the category of grooming? I don't know. I can't get in her head. Are they alarming to me to make me think that they're in the category of grooming? Yes. Now, I could say I don't know because I don't know her intent. I can't say, oh, she definitely did this or she definitely did that. The girl apparently was an aspiring model. Erika Kirk was Miss USA or Miss Universal. I don't know, one of them. She was in the pageantry world. And she texted a minor. You know what? I'll wait on that one because that's the best one. She was texting a minor, and this minor put these texts up on social media. And this one here, make it bigger. Crap, doesn't make it. I should have. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says, again, these are text messages from Erika Fransby, who then later became Erika Kirk, and this young lady, her name is, I think it's Jillian Falcone or something like that. Falcone. These are literal text messages, and this is Erika saying, you have the most stunning features. Then the girl says, that's the best compliment ever. Then Erika says something that I think is inappropriate from a 25 to a 15-year-old. Your eyes, your lips, your skin you're absolutely beautiful. Weird to me. Some people may say, she's just trying to build her self-esteem. You know, they are in that pageantry world. She definitely has some self-esteem issues, the young lady. Okay, I don't agree with that, but I can see the argument. Then this one is apparently on her way to a model or a photo shoot. And Erika tells her, I forgot to tell you to hydrate tonight. No alcohol, and don't eat a lot of salty foods. You don't want to look bloated. The girl says, thank you. She says, no alcohol, really, Erika? I guess she realized, oh, crap, this girl's only 15. She says, age recognition, you twat waffle. Apparently, I haven't had my coffee yet. I thought that was weird that you would even say something like that. But this one is the least of the ones that I thought were weird. Introducing twat waffle to a minor as an adult to me is weird, but that one I can let slide. This one, this girl said, why did Erika send me this? And it says, this is Valentine's Day. I'm going to touch your butt. If you've seen the movie Finding Nemo, you know what that's from. That's a reference to. But again, this is a 25-year-old sending this to a 15-year-old. Now, what people like Lisa Knows will say, well, we don't know that she sent that. And it's possible, but I can only go with what we're looking at. I don't do that whole speculation thing. It's weird to me. I can come to a conclusion based on what I'm looking at. But what I don't do is say, well, what I'm looking at, I can't consider because I don't know where that came from. I don't agree with that. I think it's pretty clear. But she tagged her in there. You can see on the top. So if Erika wants to dispute this, she can take it off private because she put a lot of her video, or not her videos, a lot of her social media on private or just deleted certain comments. This one here is the one that I find the most disturbing. Now, again, that meme may or may not have been sent. This, however, is a direct text message, which to me leans credibility to the young lady by saying, hey, she sent me this, she sent me this, she sent me this. This one says, let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow. So obviously the autocorrect, right? So the girl laughs at it. She says sex. Sex too, but not from you. LOL. Okay. I mean, I guess if you think that that's making light of the mistake to a 15-year-old, but okay, whatever. Here's where I find it highly inappropriate, because the young lady says, you always make me laugh. And then Erika Kirk said, don't bat for the other team just yet. To me, that's beyond weird. That goes beyond weird. I don't know why you would keep going with that joke. It was a mistake. You correct. You say, oh crap, that wasn't meant for you. I'm sorry. And move on. That's how everyone does it. I've sent text to the wrong people, or I've done the autocorrect thing. I immediately apologize and move on. Now, if you're speaking to an adult, I can see how you can add a few more jokes. But once you realize that you're communicating with a 15-year-old, what's going on, Dantana? I think you should be the adult and not keep going. And I found that to be very strange to add that last part. Don't bat for the other team just yet. You're now alluding to bisexuality with a 15-year-old and you're 25 years old. I don't know anywhere where this is acceptable. Anywhere. And I don't know any parent who would be okay with seeing that text and knowing that this is a 25-year-old who's supposedly mentoring my daughter. That would be a big problem. So these are the text messages that they're going to be going over. There's a few more, but this one here is the one to me that is really bad. And then when you listen to the whole story, which in my description, I linked the initial person who came up with this. And that is, her name is Nisi Social. I hope I'm saying it right. It's either Nicey Social or Nisi Social. Let me pull that up real quick so you guys can see her page. She does really good content. Very detailed. Definitely does her research. And if she's right, she's right. If she's wrong, she's wrong. That's up to you guys to decide. But to me, she did a phenomenal job of breaking this down. Where is it? Here it is. Pull this down, pull this up. This is her page. I've been subscribed since, so I actually used one of her videos before. It was an older video. Oh, she doesn't do live, she does this. What's going on, Juicy Fruit? So I was watching this video and I used this video for one of my live streams, or parts of it. So this one here is the big one. This is the one where she's saying, hey, these text messages, no bueno. And she went into very detailed accounts of how she found them and all that. Very good video. Again, I put that video in my description and I put her channel in my description because I think that's important. Now, I want to go to this explanation by Lisa Knows before I play their debate. Just so you guys know what they're talking about, because Zach saw this video that I'm about to play and he reacted to it, and then that caused the debate. So let's pull that one up. See if it lets me switch. That would be cool. Let me know if you can hear it, because sometimes when you do this kind of switch, the volume just disappears. So let me know if you can hear it.
When Erika Kirk was 25 years old, she groomed a 15-year-old girl.
Can you hear that? Yes? No? Maybe so? I don't want to just keep playing it. You guys can't hear it. You can put a 1, you can say yes, you can say no. Were you able to hear that? Perfect. Beautiful. All right, so let's listen. Let me like the video, even though I don't agree with it. Her channel is really small right now, if that's even her. I don't know, but I still want to give props to the person and credit to the person who's putting out their content. Let's play. This is her explanation for the text.
When Erika Kirk was 25 years old, she groomed a 15-year-old girl. Or at least that's what all of her haters across the internet want you to believe. I have spent the last 2 days digging through old Twitter accounts, looking through all of the communications so that I could break everything down for you. All of the accounts that I have seen that are making videos about this topic are intentionally leaving a lot of information out, and that's intentional. So this starts all the way back in 2013. Erika was living in LA. She's dating a basketball player. He's living in Michigan. She actually rents a place to be able to go and visit him in Michigan. She goes to have sushi and happens to meet the people that owned the place that she's staying in, meet their granddaughter, but her granddaughter also has a friend with her, which would be 15-year-old Jillian. But first of all, I think it's important to know what type of a teenager Jillian was, what type of content she was posting, and how Erika is interacting with her, right? So first of all, let's just start with the fact that she seems insanely lost. This girl is engaged in a lot of stuff that she really should not be. She is posting very inappropriate things, giving references to a lot of partying, drinking, MJ use. She's referencing these types of exchanges with boys and her sexually explicit interactions with them. This tweet here is just one example of multiple that I saw all throughout her feed. You very much get the vibe that this girl does not have a lot of parenting going on in her life. She's being raised by a single mom, and it's very clear that her mom is giving the whole I'm a cool mom, I'm your friend, not your parent type of vibe. Another thing that became very obvious very quickly is Jillian has massive body image issues and self-esteem issues. She is constantly posting that she is fat. She is posting pictures of very, very sickly, skinny girls, saying that she wishes she looked like that, how beautiful they are, how gorgeous they are, how she wants to lose weight, things like that. Here's another example of her saying, but why can't I have this, referencing this very sickly, skinny girl's body. On this same post, her friend literally says, I'm actually really okay with my body than having no fat on me whatsoever. And Jillian responds, honestly, wish I could say the same, LOL, but that's great for you though, Jade. And it becomes clear that her body image issues start to latch on to Erika, because Erika is modeling at this time. She's coming right off of being Mrs. Arizona. So she's in the pageant world. Obviously, Erika is a beautiful woman. And so she is constantly leaving comments saying how gorgeous Erika is, how pretty she is, how beautiful is, how she wants to look like her. She is constantly reposting her post multiple times throughout the day. It becomes clear that Jillian is having an unhealthy obsession with Erika and is kind of stalking her a little bit online. All of the interactions, pretty much like 99% of the interactions, are started by Jillian, by her either tagging Erika or reposting something of Erika's or commenting on one of her posts. Very rarely does Erika ever start an interaction with Jillian. One of the other things that becomes very apparent very quickly is Jillian really likes to take autocorrect mistakes and post them and highlight them on her page because she thinks that they're absolutely hilarious. And she does this with everybody in her life. She does this with her friends. She does this with her own family members. She literally does this with everyone. Here's an example of this with a friend of hers. She said, should have had a blank party. A what? Grad party. Should have had a grad party. Yeah, ha ha ha. Well, that was awkward. So funny. Here's an exchange that she has with her uncle Kevin. He literally says, hey, have your mom call me. She says, okay. We got to think of a good tattoo for my next one. Yes, this girl was able to get a tattoo at 16. Again, not great parenting happening here. And she responds back, I think she's at the neighbor's and most likely doesn't have her phone with her, but she should be home shortly and I'll tell her. And yeah, what are you thinking of getting? Anything blank come to mind? And she literally changes that to anything in mind. She has to correct it because it's an autocorrect. Literally see her reaction, here with the post saying, holy F, awkward moment, when in autocorrects to my uncle, holy F. And so of course, when this happens with Erika, she of course posts it. And these are the exchanges that people are absolutely losing their minds over. So she literally says, let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow. She responds, okay, laughing. She says sec, because she's clearly correcting because the autocorrect, messed up her words. So she's correcting it here. She says sex too, but not from you. LOL, because, you're literally a child. And she says, holy shit, laughing emoji.
See how she just added that? You're literally a child. She didn't say that, but she added that to make her point. But when I read these, I don't read into them. I look at what they say. I can't think for the person. I can think, if any of my 3 daughters at that age were being communicated with by an adult male, and they said this, would I show up and find him? Yes. There's no difference if it's a female, just because she calls herself a mentor. Because if a male said that, even that, text to but not from you, LOL. Nah, I don't. Why continue it? Just say, oops, I made a mistake. Whatever you want to do, just say that. But when you keep going with it, it seems like you're trying to condition a person to think that that's normal. And to me,
You always make me laugh.
That's grooming behavior.
And she says, I don't bat for the other team just yet. You know, she's making a joke. Clearly, this is her making a joke out of a very awkward autocorrect texting situation.
It is her making a joke. My problem is it's not an appropriate joke for a 15-year-old from a 25-year-old. Now, if she was 15, 16, 17, okay, 18's pushing it. But 25, it's almost as if she's taken this young girl and said, the girl's, you know, got all these issues, which may or may not be true. I don't care. Because to me, the girl's behavior has nothing to do with the 25-year-old's behavior. So yes, maybe she was stalking Erika Kirk. So then why give her your phone number? Because she was doing this long before they met. She's an obsessive person. That's who she is. So if you check out a person's social media and you see that they're crazy, you don't give them your phone number. That's my opinion as an adult looking to a child saying, I got to stay away from that. That's crazy. I don't want anything to do with this. It doesn't matter if you hurt her feelings. It doesn't matter if you want to mentor the girl. If she's speaking sexually and it comes towards you in any way, very complimentary, at some point you are the one who needs to cut off the communication, not the 15-year-old. You don't talk about the 15-year-old's parenting. You don't talk about, you know, whether or not she can get tattoos and all. Her mom's not a good, even if her mom was horrible, it's on the 25-year-old to decide what's appropriate and what's not. Why are you texting this to a kid? So the first one, not as big of a deal. The second part, the I don't bat for the other team just yet, real bad. That's real bad because now you've expanded the conversation from just a oops on sec versus sex, but not from you. LOL. That's not cool. But again, it gets worse with this message down here when she says, I don't bat for the other team just yet. Even I don't bat for the other team. Not cool. That was a mistake. I would be more receptive to that. I don't like the games and thinking that that's cute. Because to me, it feels like you're conditioning her to get used to that kind of conversation. And when you combine it with the other messages of the butt or whatever, you know, the Finding Nemo, I want to touch your butt, and you're so beautiful, and you're like, even if you said, you know, you have great features, like, you know, you're very pretty, whatever you're saying to the girl, once you start going into details, your eyes, your lips, that's weird. That's weird to me. You're 25 years old, and she's laughing this off, saying, haha, you know, that's just a joke. It's not a joke. Not for a 15-year-old, especially if the 15-year-old is obsessive, like you labeled her. You said it. You think she doesn't know by this point that she's obsessive? You think they've been communicating on regular text messages and social media. I think it was IG and maybe X, I don't know. Wherever they were communicating, she knows what kind of talk this girl does. There's some people that you can talk to a certain way. There's some you got to stay away from. That's just what it is. Like there's some friends that you know you can bring this up, you can bring this up. Don't bring this up because it's going to go a different direction. That would be this 15-year-old girl that you're openly saying she's obsessive, she's stalking her, she's doing all this. Okay, so then why give her your phone number and then play games about sex? Why do that? Because there's another one where the young lady said she misses some boy, and Erika Kirk said, you know, no new friends. Now, Lisa Knows would say, well, we don't know that she really said that. That's just Jillian or Julia, whatever her name is. She said that Erika said it, but we don't know that she really said it. So if she has that idea that Erika would say these things, and she's just lying about Erika every day on social media, why would you text her this? You're playing into it at that point. You're the adult. There's no excuse talking about the kid. None. Now you can say she's slow, she's Whatever you say about the kid, it does not matter. What matters is the adult playing into this stuff. It's beyond inappropriate. I would have, if woman or male, but just replace Erika Kirk with a dude, a 25-year-old dude. You're done with college at that point. This girl's a sophomore in high school. Why are you talking to my daughter this way? Now, unfortunately, it seems like she doesn't have a man in her life, which again makes it even worse for the 25-year-old to be preying on this girl, because that's what I see it as. Why would you say that? Like, I would show up at somebody's house. Hey, it's my daughter's phone. Do you know her? Why did you say that? What's funny about that? Anyway.
Situation, something that every single one of us has experienced. It's very clear that Erika in this exchange is not going out of her way to make sexual comments to a child. This is an autocorrect situation. And again, this is something that Jillian highlights on her page in her content all the time with everybody. Here's another exchange where there's clearly an autocorrect texting situation happening that Jillian thinks is hilarious. Erika literally says, I forgot to tell you, hydrate tonight, no alcohol, don't eat a lot of salty foods, you don't want to look bloated. I'm guessing Jillian maybe had like an interview the next day, or she clearly had something going on, and Erika's trying to give her like a pep talk here. Jillian responds, thank you. Erika immediately notices her mistake. I think it's because she thought she was talking to someone else, honestly. And she said, no alcohol. Really, Erika? Age recognition. Apparently I haven't had my coffee yet. Like, making a joke about herself, calling herself a dingbat. And she's like, yeah, what the heck?
But why the twat waffle? Why do you add in sexual components to that? Nothing about that was sexual. Now, we go on later to find out that Erika was giving her little pep talk. It wasn't for an interview. It was for a photo shoot. At this point, Lisa didn't know that. So she said, I think it was to the wrong person. No, it wasn't. It was to a 15-year-old girl. Why add in a sexual component to this conversation? This is another conversation. That's not normal. And the alcohol thing. I don't believe you accidentally text something like that to a 15-year-old. I just don't. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. To me, that's weird. She's 15. You're 25 years old. So all these texts, they just add up. Anyway.
Erika. She said, well, on that bite, again, had to switch it to no. Well, on that note, and then she literally says, damn you, Siri, come on, #the struggle. Literally, she is saying that, like, Siri is not, like, she's probably doing talk to text, honestly. Her talk to text is getting all jumbled because it is not working correctly. And she very clearly is pointing out that this conversation is not going how she wants due to autocorrect. This is the next one that people are freaking.
I have had many typos in autocorrects. Not that many in a row to a minor. Like, once that first one happens, then you kind of be more careful. Let me make sure that never happens again. Just reread the text before you send it to a minor. But then to make another instance into a sexual or with sexual connotations, that's not normal. To me, it's not normal. So this one, well,
out about, and they're freaking out about it as if Erika sent this to her, but she didn't. Jillian is posting this on her own free will, okay? And she just is tagging Erika in this. This is not something that Erika said to her. She literally says, thank you, Erika, for making my whole week. And she posts this meme. I want to be inside your lady garden. Know what I'm saying? We know that she's obsessed with Erika. She literally has like this girl crush on Erika, right? And so again, she is posting all of this on her own free will. Erika is not saying anything to her in this interaction. This is all Jillian here. This is another
100% true. But I would be really curious to know if that message was before or after those text messages. Because if she's sending you this creepy stuff before you send sexualized text messages, maybe you shouldn't. Same thing with this one. Now, this is a little bit different because it says, why did Erika send me this? It's so funny. It's so cute. But listen to her explanation.
The one that people are freaking out about. Why did Erika just send me this? A bunch of laughing faces. And she posts this emoji. This Valentine's Day, I'm going to touch your butt. Okay, first of all, this is a joke from Finding Nemo where he's going to go up and I'm going to touch the butt. It's the boat, and he touches the boat with his fin to freak his dad out. Anyway, Erika, again, is not sending this to her that we know of. There's no proof that Erika actually did anything here. This is just Jillian tagging her in something. It looks like trying to get a laugh out of her, trying to get a rise out of her of some kind. But Erika did not start this interaction or send this interaction in any way that we have proof of. This is fully...
How do you know that we have proof of? She literally says, why did she asked the question, why did she send me this? If she didn't tag her, I would be more along the lines of her thought process. But she tagged her. So Erika can easily say, I didn't send that. We're like, whoa, what are you doing? And cut her off. That didn't happen. So, and she's downplaying it. I don't like how she's downplaying this because it is a 15-year-old girl. Every dude has sent an accidental text that wasn't really accidental. It was just a feeler. That's what it feels like this chick is doing. There's too much sexualized stuff going on here. And again, if this is legitimate, I would be very curious to know if these posts were before that text messages or those text messages that Erika was sending her. Because if they were, then she knew exactly what she was doing. And then there's really no excuse. If they're after, you planted this seed in this little girl's head to think it's okay to talk like this because you were joking about sex and batting for the other team. Not yet. That's not normal. This is not normal. And I'm not putting this on a 15-year-old. This is all on the adult in the situation.
Jillian posting this on her own free will. What we do see from Erika is a whole lot of her trying to build this girl up. Here she says, "Oh, I cherish you. I am so proud of you, sweetheart. Keep on dreaming big, babe. Always there for you, always." Here Erika's trying to hype her up about some type of an opportunity. She says, "Own it." She says, "I'll try. You deserve the opportunity. Everything happens for a reason, and God puts people in your path to help you get to where you need to be. Embrace it. Proud of you." She says, "Thank you." The Sweet 16 birthday gift that people are freaking out about because it was chocolate covered cherries. Yeah, guys, she literally had posted a photo of making chocolate covered strawberries with her friends previously. And so I think Erika just knew that it was something that she liked. It was something easy that she could have sent in the mail for her. And that's why she did that. It's not to be romantic and creepy. The girl just had already expressed that it was something that she liked. And literally the note that she sends to her for her birthday is the most innocent, platonic, again, trying to encourage her, build her up, build her self-esteem type of exchange. And for her birthday.
Hey, quick question, Lisa. How'd she get her address? How did she get her address? If this girl is obsessive as you say she is, and stalkerish, with no guidance and all these things, why would Erika Kirk give her her phone number? And why would she ask her for her address? Did the girl just send her an address? If so, why would you send her something? You're leading her to believe these things and to believe that it's okay to send sexualized messages to this adult. I do not like victim blaming because this little girl is the victim here. Whether it's intentional or unwittingly, whether Erika Kirk was totally being innocent, she victimized this little girl because this girl in her head thinks that there's more to what's going on than there is. Even if you give Erika Kirk the benefit of the doubt and that she's totally innocent. The sex jokes, yeah, that's just what it is. No, it's not. She's 15. You're leading her on at this point then. I would love to know the sequence. This one's way after. This is way after the sex text messages because this one's, it says it's in April. The other ones were in March. So when it comes to social media, you could see the dates. When it comes to text, you don't know when those were sent. Was it after all this? Was it before all of this? Either way, it's bad, but I would be really curious to know because to me, that shows the intent of the adult in the situation.
Type of exchange. And for her birthday, she says, "Happy Sweet 16, Jillian. Hope you have an incredible day. Beautiful girl. So proud of you." And she says, "Thanks, beauty." So what exactly do I think is happening here? I'm going to go over that in part 2 because this video is getting insanely long. So I will see you in part 2. When Erika Kirk was 20.
So I thought that was very interesting. Let me go back on her. Again, I don't even know if this is her. I'm using these because I want to know what, I wanted to know what she's thinking. This is part 2.
So when Erika Kirk was 25 years old, she groomed a 15-year-old girl online. Or at least that's what all of her haters on the internet want you to think. But here's what I think actually happened. Go watch part 1 if you haven't already. I break down a lot of their communication and interactions. In this video, I'm going to go over what my theory is on what was actually happening. Do I think that Erika is a PDF file? Do I think that she was grooming this girl? No, I do not. What I think was actually happening was a mentorship type of relationship. First of all, Erika comes from the pageant world. She was literally Miss Arizona, and this is something that's very common in that world. There's a lot of mentorship type of programs. There's a lot of mentorship charities that they get involved in. There's a lot of big sister, little sister, role model type stuff happening. And I think that Erika very much tried to take this girl under her wing and help to build her up in that way. But let's just
sexual talk in this scenario that she just gave is even more inappropriate, given that world that you're now bringing this girl into or ushering her into. Sexualizing her is even worse. So even if you go with what everything she's saying, that makes it look worse. It doesn't help her case.
To look to Jillian herself. She in fact has been questioned about the relationship that she had with Erika. She is now an adult. Obviously, she is 10 years removed from this situation, but let's see what she has to say looking back on her relationship with Erika.
That Jillian says that she wasn't trafficked. There was people online who were concerned because Jillian was in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico was very close to Epstein Island, so people were wondering, is there something that was happening there? Jillian says that she wasn't trafficked, okay? Jillian said that she looked up to Erika because she was so beautiful. You know, she was Miss Arizona. She was giving her all of this attention, and Erika felt like a big sister, and these compliments that Erika was giving her felt very validating, and it boosted her self-esteem. And Jillian hasn't spoken to her in over 10 years. She hasn't really thought about it all that much. Like, it's out of sight, out of mind. So she never looked back at this whole friendship she had with Erika as being weird and inappropriate. She never saw it that way.
Yeah, so Jillian said everything that I also got reading through these exchanges.
Yeah, but the difference is she was 15. So at the time, she didn't see anything wrong with it. She never thought about it. So just because she wasn't actually trafficked doesn't make what happened appropriate. Well, she said she wasn't trafficked. There it is, guys. She's not a groomer because she didn't actually traffic. The behavior should be the concern, not whether or not she was successful in whatever she was trying to do. Now, that if she were successful, then that's a whole different conversation. We wouldn't even be talking about the text messages if that's the case. We'd be talking about the trafficking.
Was a mentor-mentee type of relationship, and that is how I believe that Erika viewed it, and clearly that is how Jillian viewed it. She straight up says, I viewed Erika like a big sister, and that all of the things that she said to encourage me and build me up drastically helped my self-esteem. And this is a girl whose self-esteem was absolutely in the toilet, and she clearly was struggling and was very lost and engaged in a lot of things that she should not have been engaged in. And again, it seemed like she has little to no parenting happening. And so, yeah, it looks like Erika tried to kind of take her under her wing a little bit. Now, you know, hindsight.
So in this scenario, she posited that it looks like there's little to no parenting happening. If I'm going to take someone under my wing and mentor them, I want to speak to the parent regardless, and find out if there's little to no parenting. Like, I don't know, like, every point that she's making does not help. In my opinion, it doesn't help her case. It hurts her case. Did Erika go to her mom, and does her mom know that she's sending these sexual messages and communicating with her daughter in this way on social media? Then you can determine if the mom's no good or not. But if she doesn't know, why are you even bringing this up? Because now she's doing it in a way like, did she ask? Hey, where's your mom? Where's your dad? Does she know anything about this girl? Or is she just sending sexual messages to her?
2020, now being a parent with her own daughter, would she look back on this and probably say, yeah, I probably should have had some clearer boundaries in place? Probably.
Why?
It's not like the brightest shining moment of her life, obviously. But at the end of the day, do I think that Erika Kirk had nefarious intentions here? Do I believe that she is sexually attracted to children? Absolutely not. That is.
I don't know how she comes to her conclusions and says, you know, looking back, maybe she should have set boundaries. Why? If it's so innocent, like you're saying it is, why would she create more boundaries if looking back on a situation? Hindsight is 2020. There's nothing to correct. If what she's saying is true, there's nothing to correct. It's all innocent. What boundaries? Why does she need boundaries? She's doing nothing wrong.
Such a ridiculously stretch of the imagination that it's not even funny. People are obsessed with Epstein right now, and all of these files that dropped, and people are digging into them, and they're reading some of the most horrific abuses that can happen to women and children. And so they are now combining that with their hatred of Erika Kirk and trying to morph it into something that it completely and totally is not.
So she assumes people who question Erika Kirk and, hold on, let me put it back up, and this. Let me get rid of this. So if you see this any other way than her, you hate Erika Kirk. I really hate that it doesn't get anything. If you see this message down here, the one I highlighted that says, or actually both of them, sex to but not from you to a 15-year-old, and then I don't bat for the other team just yet. Little teasers. If you see that as anything other than what this lady says, you hate Erika Kirk. Now, there are people on X who can't stand Erika Kirk, but it has nothing to do with this. This just adds to it because she's exhibited very strange behavior. And her history in Romania, getting kicked out of Romania. Let me pull this. Let me pull this up real quick because this is not what this lady is making it seem. She's acting like these people are just coming out of nowhere with all these crazy accusations on Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk got kicked out of Romania for dealing with this guy. And her charity in Romania. Now, mind you, she was a teenager when she was running this charity, which is already like, how many teens do that? But I guess if it's possible, this guy, Otto Buscher, was in the military. And this is where her charity was operating out of. They're dealing with trafficked young ladies and orphans and other things. This guy is the subject of several serious allegations, primarily concerning his time in Romania with Erika Kirk. Now, I'm not saying she knows anything about this, but after you find out about this, maybe you don't go home and start texting 15-year-old girls sexual stuff. Human trafficking, prostitution. Buscher was accused by this person in 2019, allegedly running a prostitution and human trafficking ring out of wherever that, I can't say that, this airbase. From 2010 through the mid-2010s. Exploitation of minors. Allegations suggest that the operations involved girls as young as 16, specifically targeting Romanian orphans. Right? So high-profile figures like Candace Owens have publicly alleged that Buscher partnered with Erika Kirk's charity, Romanian Angels, while reportedly engaged in this. It's not a suggestion. He did. That was one of her partners. So again, if you have something like that, not a good look, to say the least, right? Here's another one. This is all on her. This is Erika Kirk. This is who she's surrounding herself with. As of February 2026, Pastor Greg Laurie of this nasty church, I'm not even gonna, are named as defendants in at least 22 federal lawsuits. The complaints allege that they are legally responsible for systematic negligence, trafficking, and multi-decade cover-up of SA perpetrated at a church-funded orphanage in Romania. So these are two of her partners. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many offenders you guys have known in your life. But there's two now. And this is just from her time in Romania. So this behavior starts getting called out on social media. People say you're attacking a grieving widow. Or I'm asking why she's dealing, like, I don't know this many pedos. To me, the odds of this is like, I don't know. I don't know about this. The Make America, what is it, Crowded? Or Make Heaven. There it is, Make Heaven. Crowded tour. It's Erika Kirk. Speakers. I'm going to show you guys something. Because this is, I mean, hey, listen, who am I? This guy is involved in all this, right? You guys see that? Cool. That's the other one. That's Otto Buscher. She's done with Otto Buscher. We haven't heard about Otto Buscher in a while. So it goes from this guy, Greg Laurie, share screen. So all I did was search the Make Heaven Crowded speakers. Make this big. This is the lineup of pastors right here is Greg Laurie. She's still in contact with this guy. And not only is she in contact with her, he's speaking at her Make Heaven Crowded tour. And he's on tour with her right now. This guy is on tour with her right now. So even with the allegations of SA on this guy, she has him, he's a pastor. She has him with her on tour, speaking about Christianity. Does that make any sense to anybody? Let me look at you guys. Does that make any sense to anybody? You have a known person who's being accused of, and this isn't it. There's more. And you take him on tour with you so he can evangelize when his church has all these allegations, and he specifically has allegations against him. He's on tour with her. So at some point, we got to say, this is weird. No, so she has, she had a charity in Romania. So she said, I'm sorry, maybe you said it already, but what's her connection to Romania? She had a charity in Romania with those two guys. They ran her out of there because her charity partnered with these guys. Now, again, I'm not saying she did anything, but I'm saying your judgment when it comes to this topic doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And this is all when she was a teen. So, okay, well, maybe she didn't learn a lesson. So when you're 25, you're messaging a teenager sexual messages. You haven't had what is your problem here? And she's been caught in several lies, like the one that I called her out on when she said, I've been here for 5 years. I haven't dated anyone. Okay, cool. And then they find out that she was dating 3 guys within that time period. And she was on a reality show that was for dating. It's like, something's wrong here. This is not adding up, lady. Like, who are you? Any of these things individually, like, single any of these things out, it's not a big deal. But when you combine them, it's like, and then you look at those text messages. Now I look at them differently. But you should know better than this. You deal with girls like this. You dealt with girls like this in your charity. She did another charity for orphans in China. To me, none of this is normal. So when I look at the text messages, I don't just look at the text messages, even though that one, unforgivable in my opinion. But then when I look at your history, you should know better and how to handle teens because you watch these victims come in nonstop. It's what you do. You protect these girls. So now you're gonna share these thoughts. Not bad for the other team just yet. Ha ha ha. LOL. All of a sudden, that becomes more intentional. That would be my word for it. Because there is no way this guy should be on tour right now with her. The TP USA Faith Tour. This guy is there. You got to explain that to me. You got to explain that to me. Because if I put, it's so wild to me how this chick is just dismissing this stuff. I'm like, well, wait a minute. There's more to this. There's way more to this. Okay, so it's the same. Yeah, so he also had some, oh geez. All right, so let me pull this. Let's switch to this one. There were more accusations actually that I didn't know about. I didn't even have these. So he did the cover up and allowing the abuse to, but then here it says they funded these homes $17,000 a month to whoever this organization is. Oh, that's in Romania. That's why I don't know what that means. But the filings detail severe abuse, including children being tied to beds, radiators, beaten in some cases, pimped out. And he is right now on tour with Erika Kirk. So the accusation alone should be like, hey, we can get, you can come with us next year. But this year, you may want to handle these allegations. I can't have you on stage with me. I apologize. Of all the people, you choose this guy. That's weird. Whether he's saying that it happened or not, I understand you're innocent. Handle that. Next year you can tour with us. I'm definitely not going to stand on stage with him if I don't know if this stuff is true, because if it's true, how does that make you look? Go handle it. These are all like legal. 22 is already a problem. But even if they're all lies, go handle your 22 allegations of SA and abuse of minors. And then next year, after you get past all this, you can tour with me. But I'm not going to stand next to you, dude. I don't know if this is true. And if it's true, you can bring down my whole organization. That alone. So again, tie this to text messaging minors, and it's not cool. That's not good. This is really not good. So now, let's start the live. Zach Castillo, I like him. I used him on a Zionism video before. Let me pull this up. And they got into that, but I didn't cover that here. I've talked about that enough. Pull it up. Remove ad.
Is that Erika Kirk is not an abusive groomer. She is not sexually attracted to children.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, we can go through the breakdown of how you misrepresented my views. There's plenty of them. I believe you missed important parts of my videos, especially the whole section where I go over pageantry and modeling and how mentorship programs are heavily a part of that, and how that would be very normalized to Erika Kirk, who was growing up in that world.
So that's why I wanted to play those first, so you guys understood what they're talking about. Because if I just went to this, you'd be like, I wonder what she said. So I wanted you guys to hear what she said, and especially about the pageantry world and how this is normal. Completely ignoring that she's dealt with SA and trafficked minors, orphans. So she should know what it looks like. And she should also know not to be texting and messaging girls this kind of stuff. It's not a good look. It's not. And who's she touring with? A known abuser. Like, what? Okay, maybe alleged. A known alleged abuser.
You also, you didn't at all acknowledge the claim about the memes in particular, where Erika was simply tagged in these things. And anybody who understands how the internet works knows that anybody who has your username can tag you on the internet in anything that they want. At the end of the day, we cannot run around saying that you are responsible for how someone tags your username on the internet. I am not responsible for how someone decides to tag my username on the internet. And so unless we're going to start holding people accountable for how others are, tagging them in posts, that's just absolutely absurd. And
I don't know if this feature was out back then. What's up, Dre? I don't know if this feature was out back then, but now you can make it so people cannot tag you unless they follow you or unless you follow them. Now, to be fair, I don't know if that feature was available back then, but now I know you can do that. You can set it so people cannot tag you, or I think you can even isolate who can and who cannot. So that is fair. She's tagging her. But as soon as this story breaks, the first thing I'm doing is releasing a statement saying, listen, I did not see these messages. Yes, I was tagged. My accounts, I get tagged all day. I don't see all of the tag. That's what I'm doing. If you're smart, that's what you do. How you doing, Ms. Baker? But to just ignore it, like TPUSA has been ignoring everything, this is not smart. It's dumb, actually, because you're already touring with a guy who has 22 lawsuits, not even allegations, federal lawsuits over this kind of behavior. You display it, whether you intended to or not. Put out a statement, say, hey, I know this girl, but there was no intentions behind that. I did not see any of these tags. If I saw her tagging me like this, I would have responded differently or not at all. Say something. But she didn't do that. She's just ignoring it. And she thinks it's just going to go away.
The majority of the, flaming guns that we are seeing from people around Erika Kirk, the vast majority of them, Jillian just simply tagged Erika. There's no communication. There's nothing that shows that Erika sent those to her, right? She just simply tags her username in this meme. And at the end of the day, again, anybody can do that. And so, yeah, that was one of the things that you failed to address that I think is the crux of a huge part of this argument.
Okay. That's a good place to start, because I think that this highlights really, I think the fundamental meat of where we disagree on this. Your argument, if I'm stating this correctly, was that this was more like a typical mentor-mentee type of relationship between Erika Kirk and a 15-year-old girl, Jillian. And I think that your argument hinges on the fact that you essentially dismiss the inappropriate messages between Erika and Jillian, the memes that they sent back and forth, as you just mentioned. You claim that
Jillian tagged Erika.
Yeah. Okay.
Erika did not send those to her.
That's right. So you're saying that because Jillian sent them,
she doesn't know if Erika sent them to her. She states it as fact. The girl said she sent this to me. Then you can believe her or not believe her, but don't state it as fact. Just say that's what she said. We don't know for sure, but she said no, she didn't send it to her. You're ignoring it. It's a fact. It's not.
To Erika, and not the other way around, that Erika has no control over that, and that's fine. The messages that I find most problematic, and let me explain this. Let me explain this, because I think that this is a good context for the memes. The messages that I find most problematic are the messages of Erika telling Jillian no friends, so no additional friends when she's posing with, I think it's another boy.
That's also a tagged post, Zach. That's also a tagged post, Zach. It's in my slides that I have available, but that is another tagged post. Literally both memes. So the Nemo meme, the gnome meme, and the no new friends are all tagged posts where Jillian is simply tagging Erika Kirk. She is not sending these things to this individual that we have any proof of.
No. But
the only comment I see from you, Mel, was a salute to KTC. So they may have, I don't know. Not sure.
Erika respond to the picture of her with another individual saying no new friends? Or you're saying that Jillian put that up there, that Erika had said that?
Yes, sir. Again, there's nothing to show that Erika ever said that or sent that to her. She's simply being tagged in Jillian making these statements. And so, yeah, we have no proof that Erika ever had those conversations with her.
Okay.
Right. So in my mind, that's all the more reason to say, you know what? Let me put this out there to let everyone know I was not having these conversations with this young lady. Because this young lady is tagging her and saying, she sent me this. So the easiest thing to do is to deny it at least. But to ignore it, what are you doing? Why are you ignoring that? To me, that's important. If you don't want your name out there, you're already walking next to Lori, the accused. So if you're going to sit there with Greg Laurie on stage with him, now you have a girl coming out saying, hey, she was sending me these inappropriate messages. Ha, ha, ha. Clear it up. Address it. Say, hey, listen, I saw Greg Laurie's evidence and I stand with him. I believe that he hasn't done anything wrong. Cool. Then at least you're saying something that separates you from that. If he did do something wrong, whatever, however you want to phrase it. And then address this and say, you know what? This young lady put out these messages. I do remember her. I don't remember any sexual charge messages. If she has some, I may have made mistakes and thought she was somebody. However you want to phrase it, it'll at least make it a little bit better. But just leaving it as is for everyone to speculate is a very, 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 very big mistake, in my opinion. So it almost sounds like this blown up Michael Jordan. Yeah. Well, no, this is a little bit different. A little bit. So from Jordan's end, the father and Jordan both say that the kid had ice in his shirt and he's whatever. Doesn't look good. But that's the father saying, no, that's not. It's not what I didn't see what you guys see, and I was standing right there. Cool. This is a young lady who is supposedly, according to her, just saying stuff about Erika Kirk, but she's tagging her. Again, if she just said Erika Kirk sent me this and didn't tag her, then I could say, yeah, anybody can do that. But she's tagging her. That's validation. All Erika Kirk has to do is say, I didn't see this tag, or I didn't know. But if you don't say anything, this girl is literally saying, Mel Dub commented on my post and I tag him. He could easily say, I didn't comment on it. What are you talking about? But if I don't do that, people are going to assume Mel Dub commented on my post. You ignore it, you are validating it. Now, if you want to make the case, I didn't see it, say that. But if you just ignore this, it's on you. The same 25-year-old who had poor, very, very, very poor judgment sending these sexualized messages to a teen. You now have poor judgment at 37 because you're still making the same missteps.
All right. So leave that message to the aside then. The message, and this is where I think that you're just way off.
Okay.
You write off the text message thread of Erika saying, is the typo thread of Erika saying one sex as a typo for one sec. Your argument, and this is according to your video, is just that it's a little joke after making a typo so that it's not a big deal. And that's where I totally disagree. Like, I think that text message thread is a big deal. I can understand making a mistake and correcting yourself. That stuff happens all the time. Like, you say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to say that. And then you change the subject. Like, you get on to talking about whatever it is that you needed to talk about. But Erika then said, sex, yes, but not with you. That is, let me just finish. That's not appropriate at all to say to your 15-year-old mentee. And it doesn't end there. She then went on to say, I don't bat for the other team just yet. So now she is suggesting through joking about sex with a woman. And this is with a 15-year-old. We can't lose that context. And now I want to loop that back in with the memes, because what you get is a pattern of inappropriate communication that's going on between a 25-year-old and a 15-year-old. You probably know better than I do. I don't know this for sure. You can tell me. But do the memes come before or after the sex exchange? I don't think it matters. Did they happen before? If they happened before and Jillian sent the meme and then Erika said that, then that message right there affirms the memes. If Jillian sent the memes after that text message, then this message would have just encouraged those memes. And then I just want to say, this is how I'll finish. If as a parent, and I'm a parent of both boys and girls, your profile says that you're a mother. But if I saw this, especially with my girls, if I saw this type of communication going on, and this is between these three messages on social media, I would take action immediately. There's no question about it. Anyone watching this who is a parent, I mean, come on. We all know the truth here. If you would allow this type of mentorship, and I'm going to say that from a pageant girl, then I question the parenthood decisions. Like, I say that's not good parenting. I'd say in my opinion, but I would say that's a fact. Like, you can't just throw away and write off that bad message exchange, because yes, Erika did nothing wrong if that text message doesn't exist. If a murderer doesn't commit a murder, he's not a murderer. Like, the only way you could debunk this whole point is if this message did not exist.
Here's the thing, Zach. Do you think that this is eligible for criminal charges to put her in jail?
I'm not necessarily going to go that far and
because
say that.
You've stated publicly that it's not.
Hold on. No.
Yes, you have.
I say publicly what? I said publicly what?
You said that this is not enough for criminal charges. You don't think that this pushes to the level of criminal charges. But I'm saying that there is no black and white here. You are either an abusive groomer towards children and you deserve to be in prison, or you're not. There is no middle.
So this is a huge straw man. This is a non-starter. Like, I don't even know how this is. She's creating an if-then statement. If this, then this should be the result. Or she needs to be talked at that time. I would have showed up at her home and asked her and questioned her about it. You can't say, well, if she doesn't go to prison, it's not a big deal. No, that's not it. You're missing the point. Because she's flirting with crimes doesn't mean she committed it. You don't have to wait until she actually does something to your daughter to cut that off. I'm showing up. I'm showing up at your home and asking, hey, how you doing? And putting the phone in her face. What is this? Why are you talking to my daughter like this? Who are you? How old are you? She said you're 25. Are you really 25? Is this okay to talk to a 15-year-old? This is my daughter. Why are you talking to her about sex? Now, whether or not she can be arrested, it has nothing to do with this. Inappropriate is inappropriate. She's saying, well, then if it's not a crime, is that how you're going to handle your kids? If an adult drives alongside your daughter in a car and tries to coerce her to get in the car, he didn't do anything. He's just talking to her. Is that okay? No, this mindset is crazy to me.
This is one situation where I don't believe there's middle ground. You either have enough to say that she absolutely is sexually attracted to children. She wants to have sex with children, and that is where we are. Or did she have an inappropriate off-color joke as a 25-year-old single living in LA working in the modeling and entertainment industry? And we don't know where she was at with her faith at this time. We have no idea what type of an individual Erika Kirk was at this time. She's not married. She doesn't have children yet. She doesn't have any of that perspective yet. So are we willing to say, put her behind bars, slam the door? Or are we saying that an off-color joke is definitely in a different category than she wants to have sex with children? Because that is what you are saying, Zach.
Those aren't the only two options. There's a lot more options in there. There's a lot more options in this scenario. Mel, help me. You said we call that a converse fallacy. I believe when I took class in college of logical fallacy. Either this or let's not talk about it anymore, because that's what she's ultimately trying to do. She doesn't want this conversation to be had on X or TikTok or wherever else she is. I have her links in my description. So she does not like this conversation because she thinks it's evil. She thinks you're attacking Erika. You are attacking a grieving widow. Just leave her alone. So we can't say that that's weird. We can't say, hey, that's really, really inappropriate. Especially when you combine it with all the other illegal activity around minors. This only adds to it. But to say either we lock her up and throw away the key because she wants to have sex with minors, or we leave her alone. There's no gray area here. Okay.
I mean, look, calling it an off-color joke is severely discounting what the conversation actually was.
I
Okay,
completely
Lisa,
disagree. It is
Lisa,
an autocorrect situation that we've all had, and she's trying to take an awkward, embarrassing situation, and yes, is trying to make an offhand joke. But at the end of the
about
day,
having sex with a 15-year-old girl
no,
of the
she
same
says-
sex.
She literally says, not with you. That's why she's saying, like, wow, that was supposed to say sex, not sex. I don't want to have sex with you. Ew. Don't bat that.
She added the ew. I don't understand that. Maybe because it makes other people who didn't see it say, oh, well, she said ill. Then clearly she's joking. And she's like literally dismissing it. She didn't say ill. She added another joke to it.
way. She's literally saying, like, no, I don't.
I don't bat that way just yet.
It's
just
a
yet.
joke, Zach. It's an inappropriate joke from a young single girl that is not married and does not have children. Again, this is 20.
Sorry, I keep pausing. It's an inappropriate joke from a young single girl. No, it's a 25-year-old woman. Like she's 5 years away from being a geriatric if she gets pregnant. What are you talking about, lady? It's just a 25 little girl. This is so long ago. Ignore it. This is not important. She's completely dismissing it. Listen to this. Hold on, let me go back. Because that's, to me, this is wild.
Wow, that was supposed to say sex, not sex. I don't want to have sex with you. Ew. Don't bat that way. She's literally saying, like, no, I don't.
I don't bat that way just yet.
It's
just
a
yet.
joke, Zach. It's an inappropriate joke from a young single girl that is not married and does not have children. Again, this is 2014, okay? In 2014, we viewed these things very differently than we view them now in 2016.
No. PDF has always been PDF. That behavior has always been the same. It's never changed. We weren't allowed to talk to 15-year-olds as 25-year-olds way back in 2014. All the way back in 2014. She said just yet. She added that for a reason. It's an enticement. It's a way to say there's a possibility.
But these are very, very serious allegations, and you are taking away from very real survivors and victims when you say garbage like this. This is the problem.
I think the problem, I think ultimately the problem is look, I'm not going to sit here and state that Erika Kirk is definitively a groomer. I have never said that. I've never said that. I am saying that this at least at least shows very, very questionable decision-making and behavior.
Over a decade
very,
ago.
very,
Over a decade ago. Are we going to hold her to that now as a 37-year-old woman? What I
Yes.
did when I was 24 and
Yes,
25 years
yes,
old, I
because
should be held accountable for now as a 36-year-old. No, again, unless it's criminal behavior, again, unless you are saying that you are willing to put her behind bars and bring charges based off of some autocorrect text messages and an offhanded, inappropriate joke, that is absolutely absurd. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it is a massive leap to go from she had some poor wisdom and some poor judgment on how she handled that and her response there to she wants to have sex with children. Let's put her in prison. That is a massive jump.
You made the jump. Nobody said that. So she creates a straw man and says, this happens. This is a massive leap. You're making the leap. You jumped there. Nobody else said that. I haven't seen anyone say that. All I've seen people saying, hey, this is weird. Now, I have seen people calling her a groomer. That's their opinion based on what they're looking at. It's not like they just came out of nowhere with it. They see her joking. She's phrasing, she's a single, no kids, no husband, little girl making jokes. 14 years or however long ago it was. No, that's not how it works. Do we lock her up and throw away the key? Nobody said this. This is a good way to argue if you're arguing with somebody who doesn't understand what you're doing. Like, you just throw words in my mouth and then say that that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me what I'm saying. I haven't seen anybody say that.
I mean, this is, again, you even said yourself that there's gray area. And I want to read this to you. I actually brought this up because I really wanted to know, because people are going into ChatGPT and asking, like, what would this qualify as? And the answers
It doesn't
are
qualify.
varied.
It doesn't qualify.
Okay, well, let me read to you. Let me read to you the Michigan Penal Code.
Also.
Did you look up the Michigan law? Did you look up the Michigan law? Michigan Law, Act 33, MCL 722-675, Section 5. Number 1, knowingly disseminates sexually explicit visual or verbal material that is harmful to minors.
She did not do that.
A person knows the nature of the matter if the person is either aware of its character and content, of recklessly disregarding circumstances suggesting its character and content. And then the last part is a person knows the status of a minor if the person is either aware that the person to whom the dissemination is made is under 18 years of age. I mean, this is extremely, I think that this message is extremely inappropriate. And if it doesn't fall under this law, it's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close to doing that.
No, it doesn't even meet the definition of grooming, Zach. So when you look at the childsafety.gov website, so these are like experts who are examining what child abuse and child.
Here's what I find annoying about this. Can you at least say that it's not right to do what she did? You have to go straight to the crime. She's going straight to the crime. This does not fall under the legal definition of grooming. Right? So would you allow your daughter to keep communicating with somebody if they were communicating, a 25-year-old, if they were communicating with her this way? Yes or no? This is where he fell short. I felt bad because I really like this guy, but he didn't push the points that he should be pushing. And I guess I shouldn't say that. He didn't push the points that I would be pushing on this, and I would be asking a lot of questions. Does it have to be grooming to be wrong? Like, why are we jumping all the way to lock her up? Because that's what you're saying. She needs to be locked up. She's a criminal. Or she's exhibiting behaviors that align with a lot of things in her history and something that's going on right now with Greg Laurie, who's partnered with her and he's touring with her. And he's got 22 allegations of this kind of thing. Am I calling her an R word? No. But at least what he should have forced her to do was take a stance. Is it right what she did, or is it wrong what she did? Because you don't like gray areas. Is it right what she did or not? It's pretty simple. What's going on, Phoenix? What's going on, Not Worth It? Mel, yeah, Mel. So here's the reason why I don't do this, because that's about picking sides. But he was considered. I can't remember the chick's name, but yeah, he was like there was more there, right? You had a left-right element. Both of these people are on the right, so that element's not there. That's why I wouldn't make that. And I'm like, no. Like, no, this is not what we do in this society. I don't know what this lady's talking about.
grooming actually look like and what the qualifications are, this does not even come close. First of all, it typically involves isolating the child. Erika Kirk is not making statements about, yeah, your mom, don't be talking to her, your friends, you need to separate from them. They usually try to get the child to move to a private platform. Erika does everything public facing. Obviously, we can still see it today. Everything is public and available.
We can't because it's private, and a lot of her stuff was deleted. But she did send a message saying no new friends. You just don't accept that it was real. Because the little girl said it. That doesn't mean she really said it. Well, the little girl, who was 15 at the time, said that Erika said no new friends when she posted about a guy that she missed. That would be isolating. Like literally, that's I don't even know how. The fact that she brought that up is funny to me because she knows she said that. But her contention to that will be, yeah, but we don't know that she said that. Well, we have the little girl saying that she said it. So either you just don't believe her, which is fine. You don't have to believe her. But don't say she didn't say it. Say, we don't know for sure if she said that. That's just one account. We haven't heard from Erika. And my question will be, why haven't we heard from Erika? Why haven't we? That's her choice. She could respond to this. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since this came out. No response. That's on her. That's not on anyone else, and that's not on all of us to say, well, I'm going to give her the benefit of doubt. Yeah, she's touring with Greg Laurie. Yeah, she knew Otto Busher. Yeah, now she got kicked out of Romania, but yeah, not a big deal. This little girl is just, it's a joke. I wouldn't want an adult talking to my kid at all. Adults can influence directly. And absolutely. Any kind of authority figure. And if you raise your kids right, they see adults as authority figures. Stay away from it. No, not strangers, obviously. But what I'm saying is that influence is way, way, way more powerful than just their friends. And who wants to talk to kids anyway? But what she's saying, oh, she's mentoring. She's helping her. Okay.
True groomer, a true child abuser who is sexually attracted to children is going to try to move that child into a secret private space where no one else can see it. No one else would be able to view it today. Okay? You
mean like text messages? They moved from social media to text messages. So she thinks she's making good points here. She's actually hurting her own position. And she does this through the whole interview, or not interview, debate. Sorry. I wish I could have debated her. I would still like to debate her. Because there's more points that can be made. But I really want to know what she's thinking. Because what she's saying does not align with any type of reality. She's literally making up stuff and saying, well, you're saying you want to lock her up, throw her underneath a prison. I didn't say that. Is it wrong, is what I'm saying.
You also have the fact that
I would argue that the text message, which you again are saying is from Jillian, so that we can't take it, so that we can't include it in this, would be no new friends. Like you're saying that doesn't exist. We are looking at the data in front of us on Twitter.
I literally have it, and it is a simple tag. Erika does not send that to her. There is no proof that Erika made that statement. Again, anybody on the internet can tag you in whatever they want, Zach.
So why would Jillian be tagging Erika in that statement?
Get her attention. We don't know. We don't even know that Erika ever even saw those. People who have bigger accounts, again, at this point, she has already been Miss Arizona. She's already run in the Miss Universe pageant. At that point, she has quite the online presence. There are multiple people who have celebrities, or now we would call them influencers or whatever that would be. They get tagged in stuff all day long, and they have tags that they never even see. We don't even know that Erika ever even saw those memes or the No New Friends post because she was simply tagged in it.
We now know she has seen it. You know how? Candace Owens played Niecy Social's video on it. And TPUSA watches absolutely everything Candace Owens does. You want to know how I know? Because they sent Candace Owens a cease and desist and detailed things from every show. So now that she knows the world is seeing it, why doesn't she respond? It's on her. It's not on you to go around on social media and make cases for her. She's a big girl. She can step up and say, no, this is not true. Or this is not what it looks like. Something. She hasn't said anything. She's let this fester. Next week, I believe it's going to be a month. Whose fault is this? You can't sit here and just say, well, we don't know. We don't know. She knows. I keep asking one question over and over. Do you think her conversation was appropriate? Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Have you, this is why I
Hold on,
think that
I'm going to finish
Erika's,
making my point. So the
Okay.
other thing, sexualization. Sexualization is where child abuse material is often being shared. So the groomer or the
Often.
abuser will get the child to take inappropriate photos or videos of themselves to send to the abuser. We never see this happening. We also usually see that pornographic material is being exchanged. The abuser slowly starts to introduce this material to the child, desensitize them to it over time, and they build that up. This is not happening with Erika.
Often means not always. That's just most likely what they do. Often. That means often could be 7 out of 10 times. Often could be 9 out of 10 times. But it's not 10 out of 10 times. So that means there are examples of cases where that did not happen. And I would argue that verbally, you can prepare somebody to start doing that. We don't know how long they were communicating like this. Maybe she hadn't gotten there yet. You said slowly and gradually. These are your words.
have you, this is why I
Hold on,
think that
I'm going to finish
Erika's,
making my point. So the
Okay.
other thing, sexualization. Sexualization is where child abuse material is often being shared. So the
Often.
groomer or the abuser will get the child to take inappropriate photos or videos of themselves to send to the abuser. We never see this happening. We also usually see that pornographic material
Usually.
is being exchanged. The abuser slowly starts to introduce this material to the child,
Slowly.
desensitize them to it over time, and they build that up. This is not happening with Erika. And then lastly is the element of control. There are often secrecy. There is shame, there is threats, and there is coercion used to keep the child
Often.
silent. So if you talk about this, you're going to get in trouble. Your parents, I'm going to harm your parents. You can't say anything to anybody. You know, you're going to get grounded. You're going to get in trouble. We do not see any of that type of control or coercion happening with Jillian from Erika.
I would say we see potential evidence with her saying no new friends. I don't think we can just discount that. And then,
Zach, I don't
and
know
then we
how many
do have-
times I have to tell you that
and then
that
we
did
do
not
have the
come from
photo
Erika
shoot.
Kirk.
Oh, you don't know that.
Yes,
You don't
we
know
do.
that.
Okay, it did
How?
come
How
from-
do you know it?
Again,
How do you know that that
she-
did not come from Erika?
Because
Because
she
it's
tags
there.
her in the post. She simply tags her username, and Erika does not interact with that post in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how else I can explain this to you, but I mean, we've got it here. It's slide number 5. Do you want to pull it up? It's slide number 5, Zach. It is simply her saying, did Erika just text me this? Hashtag no new friends. Oh my effing God, I can't. Laugh, laugh, laugh. It's not even a tag. Like, Erika is nowhere in here. She is not engaging with this post. And the comments underneath of that are all current from when Candace blew this whole thing up, and now people are going back and commenting on it. But there is nothing here that shows that Erika Kirk sent this, had a conversation with her about it, discussed it, none of the above.
Except the fact that she said she sent it. So again, you could say I don't believe the girl, but to say there's nothing here saying it when there's literally something there saying it. You don't have to believe her. She could be lying. But you can't say there's nothing here. I don't even know where you guys are even talking about it. Let's ignore it. Ignore everything. Jordan didn't respond. But if the father comes out, if the parent, the literal parent comes out and says it's not a thing, there's really no reason to. There really isn't. And Jordan's on a completely different level. This guy's been accused of unaliving his, or being the reason his own father was unalived. Like, he's seen so many things. Just from the days in Chicago, I remember stories about him. It's like every day there's some story trying that, or there was. Now it's even worse with the LeBron people. But this is when I was in Chicago. When I grew up in Chicago, watching this guy, almost every day there's a news story about something that he did wrong. So he's not going to respond to anything. Worst case scenario is if it goes on for a certain amount of time, they'll put out a release or something. He's not going to do it. But if the father comes out, that ends the whole conversation. There's nothing else to talk about. So that, to me, that's a little bit different. But this, what she's trying to do and trying to dismiss it by saying Erika didn't see it. Now she has. We know this because Candace Owens has gone over. There are a lot of big YouTubers who have gone over this. Like people with 600,000 subscribers, some people with 1 million subscribers. Candace Owens has like, what, 6 million? Pretty sure Erika saw this because, again, they're documenting everything for their, it's not even a defamation suit. It's for a disparagement clause break in their NDA. So the excuses that she's giving Erika Kirk does not apply.
You're calling Jillian a liar then for posting this?
We don't know. She's a 15-year-old child. I have no idea. Again, she's trying to get the attention of this person that she idolizes, obviously. But we don't even know that Erika would have saw this, especially because she's not even tagged. So I thought she was at least tagged on this. She's not even tagged on it. So
I mean, so again, like this is like the argument, like okay, it debunks because these things aren't real. Like you're saying that she's lying. Like
I'm simply
we can only
saying
go off the data that we have. Like again, if I'm concerned about what my child is doing online with someone, and I see this, and I see the memes, and I see the text message thread that we just went through of the sex and the sext and the batting for the other team and all that good stuff, and then I see my daughter says, "Did Erika just text me no new friends? Oh my, OMFG." I'm gonna be like, okay, that fits your definition of potential isolation. We have evidence of sex messages going back and forth, and then
no, we don't.
And then you mentioned the photo shoot, which was set up by Erika Kirk.
Yes, which we'll get into because
so I feel like that checks like 3 or 4 of the boxes from what you just described. Like,
except that Candace is claiming that there's no parental consent or parental like knowing that this is happening. This is another thing. In order for someone to groom and abuse a child in this way, typically the parents don't know about it or have knowledge of it. And we fully know that Jillian's mother was aware of this relationship. In fact,
we don't, but there are parents that take part in that stuff. So I don't know, like. She says things matter-of-factly so that people listening who did not look into what she's talking about will assume, well, she wouldn't say that if she was just making it up. But she's literally saying, we know this for a fact. No, you don't. You think this based on what you're seeing. Just like I think when I'm looking at this, that I believe it. And I think it's exactly what it looks like. You're saying, I don't see what, or I see what you see, but I don't believe it. And that's it. But what you can't do is say, we know this for a fact, or we don't know this for a fact. And she states things in absolutes. And she better pray Candace Owens does not interview this girl this week. Because if she does, this is a problem. And this is what they do every time with Candace Owens. They call her a liar. And that's when she comes with receipts. She waits until people call her a liar. She begs people to call her a liar. I played her saying, please say I'm lying. Because as soon as you do that, she drops her receipt. And she did that to Josh Hammer. Destroyed him. And she's going to do that here. She better pray, because what Candace Owens said is, I talked to the girl. The girl said at the time she didn't see it as weird. Now, looking back, she's not comfortable with it, but doesn't want to talk about it. She wants to move on because she's older now. She's 25 now. She's the age that Erika Kirk was when Erika Kirk was sending these messages to her. And she said that the girl told her this. So you can say, I don't believe Candace Owens said that. Right? I don't absolutely Mel Dub. Not only her, but look at all the girls with R. Kelly. Their parents knew what was going on. Usher, like this is not something that's so out of the norm. Is it typical? Probably not, but you can't say that it doesn't happen. And it's not that isolated because we know of this. We know people who adopt kids just to do stuff like this. So what she's saying is just, I don't understand it. Yeah.
We also have Jillian mentioning Erika's mother.
Are you
so that shows that there are multiple parental eyes on this situation.
Are you concerned? Well, okay. In fairness, you think that Jillian had parental consent for the photo shoot because of what Jillian said in her messages about her mom taking her there, about her mom putting her foot on the gas pedal and taking her there. So again, if I'm going to use your argument, your logic, I'm going to say, well, I think Jillian's lying about that. And you can't take that as evidence, but I'll grant you that.
I mean, what 15-year-old do you know?
My question to you would be,
do you know that is paying for all these things to prep for a photo shoot, because we know that she got her nails done, which her mom scheduled the appointment for her nails to get done. We have her getting a new dress. We have her getting a professional makeup appointment where she's getting her makeup professionally done. So again, who do you think paid for all of this? Who do you think drove her? She does not have a driver's license or a vehicle at this time. So
I don't have 15-year-old daughters, but from what I do know is that like 15-year-olds go to the mall with their friends all the time. She's a sophomore in high school. I'm sure she has a bunch of friends that can drive.
Afternoon. Her mother would have had to have literally excused her from school to do this photo.
Do you hear her? The assumptions that she makes. Who's paying for all this? Well, maybe Erika. Like, what? It doesn't even cross her mind that it could have been Erika Kirk. How'd she get there? Maybe Erika. Her mom would have had to excuse her from school. No, or she could have just ditched. You know how many? There was one year that I cut more classes than went to. I was more absent from school, period, than actually went to school because I was playing basketball. So to say her mom would have had to just get her excused from school, there's no way she could have done it. This is insane. Like, lady, are you this naive? There's no way you're this naive.
Shoot. It was on a Friday, not
Maybe
a
she
holiday.
skipped school. Maybe she didn't tell her mom. Like, we don't know any of this stuff. Like, these are all assumptions that you're making. These are all assumptions, big assumptions. These are big jumps that you're making to imply parental consent. And we don't know that.
It's not a big jump when she's literally mentioning that her mom drove her.
Okay. So the only time she does that is after the photo shoot, correct?
Yes.
Do you question?
I'm sorry. I know. I'm going to rewind it so I can play this part through. But she literally sent the message saying that her mom drove her. Well, she literally sent the message saying that Erika said no new friend. But you dismiss that because it doesn't help your argument. So is she a liar or not? Like, why wouldn't she? Especially if she knows her mom's not on X or on what this looks like X. Yeah. If she knows her mom's not on Twitter at the time, she can say whatever she wants. If her mom's as bad as you say she is, what difference does it make what she's? My mom's driving me to this photo shoot. My mom's paying for all of this stuff, and it's like, no, that's. You're assuming that she's being honest when it works for you, and then you're assuming that she's a liar when it doesn't work. But you won't call her a liar because you know she's 15, and that would look bad on you because you're literally blaming the victim at that point.
The timing has to be when they're driving home.
Do you question the mom's judgment at all as a mother? Do you?
Yes.
Me too. So you said specifically.
You got an award. So there's a perfect attendance award, and then there's the G. Will award. You got a title. You need a belt. Give you a heavyweight title at a high school.
Jumps that you're making to imply parental consent,
No,
and we don't know
Zach,
that.
It's not a big jump when she's literally mentioning that her mom drove her.
There it is.
Okay. So the only time she does that is after the photo shoot, correct?
Yes.
Do you question?
The timing has to be when they're driving home.
Do you question the mom's judgment at all as a mother? Do you?
Yes.
Me too. So you said specifically, I'm going to read this quote. Let me pull this up. You said in one of your videos, it is obvious this girl does not have a lot of parenting going on in her life. She's being raised by a single mom, and it is very clear that her mom is giving the whole cool mom, I'm your friend, not your parent type of vibe. So why do you think that it's a dunk or a flex that her mom is actually facilitating this?
At the end of the day, her mom does some things that I think are questionable, like letting your 16-year-old get a tattoo, which Jillian documents on her page, going to get a tattoo at 16. I mean, I obviously would not allow my child to get a tattoo at 16 years old, but
does that mean it was allowed, or did she just show up with a tattoo and get in trouble for it? Like, she makes so many assumptions, and I would have to ask her, why are you assuming that her mom knew before and then just didn't find out after? Like, I don't understand how her brain works like this, because she's justifying things in her head. Okay, how would I handle this? This must be the way her mom would handle it. I would not let my daughter get a tattoo at 16. How do you know she did? You already said she's not a great mom according to your standards. So maybe she didn't let her, and the daughter snuck away and came home with a tattoo. Well, she said on X that her mom knew. Okay, well, she said on X that Erika did all these things, but you reject that. It's weird.
Taking her to a photo shoot where her mom is actively there and present, and again,
actively there and present. She states it as a fact. She just made that up. She has no idea. There's as much evidence for that as there is for Erika Kirk not sending anything, because she's using a negative, but she's stating it as a fact. The difference is, when I look at this, I say it's more likely than not that not this one specifically, the ones where she tags her. I say it's more likely than not she wouldn't tag her if it wasn't true. So this one, I'd be okay with Throw this one out. Okay. She didn't tag. Okay, cool. But when she does, it's more likely that you're going to tag somebody when you know they're going to see it. You're trying to get them to see it. So you're less likely to lie about it. In my opinion. I could be wrong. But her saying, yeah, her mother was there, it's a fact. Why? Well, she said her mom took her there. She said her mom paid for this. Okay, so you're rejecting, like you're literally just going back and forth. This is insanity. Absolutely no. Who would? I don't think people without without kids would allow a 25-year-old to talk to their child like this, 15 years old. Doesn't matter what they've heard, what they know. You don't allow some stranger to come in and talk about this stuff with them. Because if this were a man, we wouldn't even be having this debate. There would be no debate. They'd be hunting this guy down.
Paid for multiple things to get her ready for it. These are simple headshots. So if she was able to look at the guy's website, which we've all been able to see, very clean, very straightforward, everybody's covered, nothing inappropriate, no scantily clad, salacious young women, even though Candace Owens is saying that that's the case.
The implication here is that if he were a filthy, dirty old man, he would be posting it all online so everyone can see it. Not that he would conceal it, not that he would have a dark website for those pictures, but there's nobody out there. It looks completely appropriate. She is so naive or dishonest. I would prefer to think she's naive. When you look on, there's no scantily clad teenagers on there that look abused. They all look very well dressed. They all look, it's all on the up and up. Just go to his website. Yeah, the whole point, Miss Lisa, the whole point is to not put it out there like that because it's wrong. It's wrong. All right. I apologize for interrupting so much, but some of the things she says has me like, huh? You can't believe it.
Specifically, I'm going to read this quote. Let me pull this up. You said in one of your videos, it is obvious this girl does not have a lot of parenting going on in her life. She's being raised by a single mom, and it is very clear that her mom is giving the whole cool mom, I'm your friend, not your parent type of vibe. So why do you think that it's a dunk or a flex that her mom is actually facilitating this?
At the end of the day, her mom does some things that I think are questionable, like letting your 16-year-old get a tattoo, which Jillian documents on her page, going to get a tattoo at 16. I mean, I obviously would not allow my child to get a tattoo at 16 years old, but taking her to a photo shoot where her mom is actively there and present, and again, paid for multiple things to get her ready for it. These are simple headshots. So if she was able to look at the guy's website, which we've all been able to see, very clean, very straightforward, everybody's covered, nothing inappropriate, no scantily clad, salacious young women, even though Candace Owens is saying that that's the case. Again, like at the end of the day, if you have a child who wants to get involved in modeling, the reality is that they do start as teenagers, even though I don't like that. That's just the way that the industry is. By the time you are 30 years old, you are considered a dinosaur when it comes to the entertainment, modeling, and pageant industry. And so they do start when they're 15, 16 years old. And so, yes, they're going to need headshots for a portfolio to start that process. So
you see how she just assumes that that's what was happening. Can you imagine going to a site and seeing all this like on the website? Like, why would he put that on? Like, why would he put that out there like that? Oh yeah, I gotta. This guy's got it. I want my photos just like that. Like nobody would go. And if you're gonna have your kid get into modeling, you're there. You better be there. If you're not there, you have a problem. But now you're blaming the parent again, and you're not blaming the person who's actually pursuing your 15-year-old or that 15.
We can say whatever we want about her parenting, but if she looked at the photographer, she looked at the type of photos that he was producing, and she felt like he was safe. And she's with her child. She's escorting her to this photo shoot. She's there with her.
She just made all this up. How do you know she looked at the website? How do you know she did all of these things? How do you know she took her there? None of this was cleaned. How do you know she was there? She just made all that up. So she's okay making stuff up. But if Candace Owens says something, not only does she disregard it, but she calls it a lie. There's no proof. We have no proof that Erika sent any of this stuff. But the same girl who's saying Erika sent her all this stuff said that her mom did something. So now that's proof that her mom did stuff.
She's driving her home when it's over. And we also have one of the images. Jillian has posted the images, and she's completely covered from head to toe. She looks very appropriate for a 15-year-old. There's nothing salacious about the photos. They are very clean. They're very age appropriate for a 15-year-old for simple headshots.
I don't know how many photos there were, but if she didn't have a top on, you think she posted on Twitter? Or would she post the ones where she's covered up? Like, the mindset, again, I think this is all naivete. I don't think that this is dishonesty, because she seems really passionate. And usually when somebody's lying, I can tell. I think that she makes a lot of assumptions, and she's very naive to this topic, and she's just saying stuff. That's what I think.
Doesn't even show cleavage, like nothing.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well,
And
there it is.
this is where I want to get into, because this is where ultimately I have a problem with it, because I do not think that Erika Kirk's intentions were pure in this situation. I don't.
I disagree.
I don't think she was looking out. I don't think it was a Christian attempt to take care of a vulnerable girl. I think that
Okay.
I think it was targeting, and I think that she did it to recruit her into the pageant world. And have you looked into the pageant world financial dynamics? It works like a pyramid scheme. Current or
Right.
past contestants, they get paid for bringing others in.
But at the
And
end of the
if there's
day,
one thing that I know for certain, women in their 20s, whether it be Beachbody, doTERRA oils, whatever it may be, I've still got them from my sister. They're still sitting in my house. It's like a moth to a flame type of attraction to pyramid companies. And
but
it's
you
really,
don't have
it's really
any
like, who
proof
cares?
that
Like,
Erika engaged in any MLMs or pyramid schemes. So I don't know why we're going off of this.
she's
I
in the
completely
pageant
get it.
world. I'm literally talking to you about what the
There
pageant
are
world
literally
does.
people
They
whose
do this,
entire jobs are pageant mentors and pageant coaches.
and she gets paid for it. And
But we don't know that she was getting paid for any of this. Actually, we don't even know that the photographer got paid. He could have done this for free time. We don't know.
I have a feeling that Erika Kirk cared about the money and was getting paid.
Well,
for
I don't
doing
care about your feelings, Zach. I care about what's in front of us. So at the end of
That's
the
just
day,
from pattern recognition. But
She cares about what's in front of us. So you put a meme in front of her, she'll say, well, we don't know where that came from. I don't care about your feelings. I just care about what's in front of us. Well, what about this meme that says Erika sent me this? Well, we don't know if that's true.
yeah, okay. Also, Erika did not start this this communication. Jillian did, and we have that in her tweets.
Erika went to the apartment with her boyfriend at the time,
Wrong.
right?
Nope.
Okay, then tell me what the timeline was.
Sure. So
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if a 15-year-old approaches you, regardless of who does it. You don't respond the way that she does. Like,
we don't
unless you're
have to
trying, unless you have
respond
something in mind,
because-
unless you're trying something.
we don't
Which
again,
again-
we don't know because we don't have the DM. But what we do have is in her tweets, Jillian is literally saying after the photo shoot was booked, she literally tweets. It's actually the second image if you want to pull it up. But she literally says, all of this happened. She says, going to bed with a smile on my face, all because I sent a DM. It's right here. All because of a DM, I'm going to bed smiling, right?
See, so she accepts what she wants to accept. But if it impacts Erika Kirk, it's a problem. And this is the problem. She's arguing out of loyalty and defense, not objectivity. She's not being rational at all. She's saying, no, it can't be true because she's a grieving widow. I will not let this happen. And it's like, okay, so she literally said this. Well, she literally said all the other things that you dismiss. You don't have a problem with this kind of inconsistency. It's a lack of rationale. It's just completely inconsistent.
This is on 3/6 of 2014. And so, and she says, hashtag best mood ever, right? And so literally this says she actually meets Erika out in public. We've been told they met at a restaurant. Again, we don't have any way to verify that. That's just what we're being told. The owners, what we're being told is that the owners of the home that Erika was renting, because she was staying in Michigan to visit her boyfriend at the time. All we have is that she met up with the owners of the home that she was renting and that they had their granddaughter with them and that Jillian was a friend of the granddaughter. We don't know when anything was exchanged. We don't know if then after that meeting she reached out to Erika online and sent this DM that she's referring to. But it seems that she's the one that started the communication, asking for her to help her with modeling, whether that's tips, like, can you help me set me up with a photo shoot for headshots? And Erika obviously at some point decides to oblige that request and help her with that.
And then gets her address. And then gets her phone number, text her. And then has the ability to DM her. And then was followed back by Erika Kirk. Those are all things that just you just leave out of there. There's no reason to say that.
see they're all because of one DM. I'm going to bed smiling. That would that's hashtag best mood ever. That to me would imply that Erika responded to a DM. Would you agree?
Yeah.
As far as that goes, that Erika
Yes.
DM'd her.
No, I'm saying that Jillian reached out with a DM asking for help with, again, can you help me to make a connection in modeling? I need headshots. I want to start a portfolio. I want to get involved in this, blah, blah, blah. And then, yes, Erika obviously responded at some point saying, sure, I can help you with that.
All right. Well, that's all speculation. I mean, you
But
have
yeah,
no idea. You have no idea
we
what
don't have the
you would
DM. We
text her.
just have her saying that she made the first contact. That's all we have.
And we have her saying that Erika sent her all these things that you're saying. Well, we don't know that. But now she's saying, well, we have her. She said it. This is wild.
Have her saying.
Can I ask you something? How are all of these messages dated 3/6?
Because this girl shares every aspect of her life. She literally would tweet anywhere from like 15 to 20 times a day. I'm not even kidding. Like scrolling through these feeds for days and days and days. And this is actually more than what we originally had. So when I first looked at the account, there was even less because it wasn't all available to the public. Now it's all been opened up to the public, and there's even more, which actually I believe again bodes well for Erika Kirk, because in the beginning it looks like their communication is more frequent because you couldn't see all the texts that were in between, all the tweets that were in between. And now that it's fully open to the public and we can see everything, it's actually clear, and it shows that Erika and her did not have very much communication at all. It's very few and far between. There were like entire months where there was no communication at all. And then shortly after the photo shoot is set up, after she helps her with that, she makes that connection for her. And then their conversation drops off that summer. So you
see what I mean? Like, she makes all of these assumptions. Maybe they weren't communicating on X as much. It's because they were text messaging. More private. She doesn't even consider that. Or it seems like she hasn't even considered that. I don't want to speak for her and say she doesn't consider that. Maybe, just maybe, the reason you don't see as much out here is because it's now here. Did that ever cross your mind? And do you understand that that's worse? She went months without saying anything. Okay, so then why send her gift baskets and chocolates? And why does she have her phone number text messaging her? She wouldn't be responding if it was this casual. So she's making it seem like this is a casual, this. And then she says, she's really mentoring, trying to help her. And then she says, well, yeah, they were text messaging about sex, but it's a joke. How distant is this relationship? Because you're making it whenever it's convenient for you. She's such a great Christian. She's helping this young girl. And now you're saying, they don't even communicate really. But when they do, they're close enough that they can joke about sex. She's lucky this wasn't me that she's debating.
Really basically talks to her a little bit, gets the photo shoot set up, talks to her for a little bit after that, and then it dissipates. So
there it is.
It seems like she helped her with the things she wanted help with and then went away, which is not a sign of someone who is grooming and sexually attracted to children. They would hang on to that relationship for dear life and try to milk it for all that it's worth. You're not going to talk to a child, help them with this one thing, and then be like, all right, deuces. Like, that's not how that's going to go.
Well, okay, but then if you're doing this out of your Christian heart to help them make sure that they're okay, then something's gonna happen where you're just gonna leave them and never talk to them again. Like, to me, it makes more sense that whatever Erika was trying to get from her, she found out she was not going to get that, and then she moved on from it. That's what this tells me. That's what this tells me.
She asked for help with a specific thing. She helped her with it, and they went their separate ways. Like, Erika probably obviously got very busy in her life. She ended up moving. We know she ended up moving to New York. Jillian obviously is going to be graduating high school here, going on to college if she decided to do that. Like, they're just going to get busy in their lives. Like, again, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that, and we don't have all of the information. So,
all right, fine. So what I want to bring up here is the conclusion from your second video, and I use this in my commentary to say, oh, this is quite the debunking video that doesn't do any debunking, because your conclusion was, and I'll read it to you. Hindsight is 2020, and being a parent, would she look back on this and choose to have cleaner boundaries in place?
Clearer boundaries, yes.
Clearer boundaries in place. Thanks. It's not the brightest shining moment of her life. So you are admitting that there's something wrong here. You're admitting that this is not appropriate. Ultimately,
no, I'm saying that two things can be true at the same time. Can a 25-year-old who's also young and pretty still dumb at 25 make wisdom wise? Can they make some bad decisions with the way that she chose to handle an awkward autocorrect text? Yes, that is true. But again, is this a massive jump to say that Erika Kirk is sexually attracted to children and wants to have sex with children? Yeah. I think that we can hold to, you can make a bad decision and not handle something correctly, and also not go as far as to say that she wants to have sex with children, because that's the leap that you're trying to make, and that's why I'm saying that that's absolutely ridiculous.
But that's also not true. That's not the leap that I'm trying to make. This to me is another data point of Erika Kirk not being who she said she is. That's ultimately my main issue with this.
How does this show that she's not who she says she is?
I'm also not convinced that your conclusion is accurate.
How does this show that she's not who she says she is?
Because also during this time, she was doing multiple dating shows. She's on that dating show saying, sex sells, baby. Oh, don't put that on there. That's against my religion. She's clearly
that was years after this.
This is all kind of in her pre-Charlie years. Okay, I'm kind of bringing in the bigger picture of kind of everything that happened prior to Charlie.
Again, we don't know where she was with her faith at that time. She literally says in her testimony, she was raised Catholic. She went to Catholic school, went to Catholic mass, and she literally says in her own testimony, if you go back and listen to it, that she did not have a relationship with Christ until she came into Protestantism. And we don't know exactly when that happened in her later on in her adult life. Just because someone is raised in Christianity, that does not mean that they have accepted the faith as their own. That does not mean that they have a relationship with Christ. We know plenty of people who are raised in Christian homes who do not acknowledge it as their own until they are much, much older.
Fair enough. I went through a period where I revolted, my faith. I think that's not an uncommon thing. What I didn't do was exchange inappropriate messages with a 15-year-old about having sex or about joking about being gay. Like I didn't do that. So there are certain mistakes you make that are way worse than others. And I think this is one of those situations where this is the type of mistake that, like, it's not like the common mistake that people make when they're resisting their faith. Like,
okay, so again, how is it her fault that her talk to text auto-corrected? How is that Erika Kirk's fault?
It's not. It's the two messages afterwards that I have a major issue with. Which speaks to very questionable decision making, moral compass, lack of character. And I don't think necessarily, I think maybe she would say that she'd go back and have better boundaries, but I'm not convinced that she is. Like, I am not convinced that Erika Kirk is who she says she is. This is my issue with her. Okay. And I'm allowed to have this criticism as a Christian. It doesn't make me unchristian to be distrustful or skeptical of who Erika Kirk says that she is. It seems like she's still after the bucks. She's still after being the center of attention, which is what she's been kind of shooting for her whole entire life. This viral social, she wanted to make it as some superstar, as some media figure.
Hey, and you're putting all of your eggs in the basket of Candace Owens, which you are allowed to do. But are you honestly going to?
I'm really not. It has nothing to do with Candace. It has nothing to do with Candace. It has everything to do with my own observation of reality and what's going on right in front of my face.
Again, is Candace Owens shooting for fame? Because that's where you're getting all of your talking points.
This is a reaction. This happened on last Friday, or Friday the 20th or 20, whatever that was.
So
how is it a Candace Owens talking point, for example, to say that Erika Kirk is still wanting to be in the spotlight? This is something that she has been trying to do her entire life, and this is based on observation of her past.
Trying to do this her entire life.
I don't care what Candace Owens is trying to do. I don't care.
Okay,
I don't care.
So she's allowed to spew whatever she wants on the internet, and that's completely fine. But Erika Kirk, I mean, she was like in the entertainment industry. She, worked in media. Candace Owens also works in the entertainment and media industry. So it's okay for one to do it, but not the other. That's just hypocritical, Zach.
Can I show you something? Can I show you something? I actually do have a video of Charlie and Erika that I want to bring up that I think at least can provide some perspective on what many people are unhappy about when it comes to Erika Kirk. Let me pull.
I have a better video. I cut one up myself, and then I'll fast forward through his version of it. Well, you know what? Maybe I did that. Hold on. Let me see if I. No, I didn't. Because this is what people have an issue with. It's not what she's saying. It really isn't. Oh, that's the 5-year lie. Here we go. I added something to this conversation.
I am in charge of certain things, guardian of the home.
As the wife.
I am the wife. I am in charge of certain things, guardian of the home, helping with the children, That is so I can make it easy for my husband to do what he needs to do. There's a balance there.
I mean, just becoming a CEO of a shoe company is not going to give you happiness.
Women have it so mixed up. You can have a career after children, but if you try to have a career while you have your kids, there is no such thing as balance. That is such a myth. I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So like you have to choose where your heart has to be fully with the home. You have to make that decision on your own, but you can always, after your kids are in school or after they're in high school, You can always go back to work. You can always find a way to get back into the workforce. But if you miss those precious first few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than an added paycheck.
And look, it's how God has wired us, and it's our nature, which is to have children, not just have a bigger bank account.
All right, perfect. I agree with absolutely everything she said there. The problem is what she's doing now. Let me get rid of that. Is she is now a CEO of
Let me pull this up.
She's the CEO of a 9-figure company. She still has a 1 and 3-year-old or a 2 and 4-year-old at home. So she's on tour. She's got 30 tour dates this year through November. That's only that tour that she's going around with that abuser, allegedly, Greg Laurie. So she's not home. She's not doing anything what you just heard her say. What you just heard her say is, hey, you can do that later. Not now. Not if you have toddlers. She literally has 2. Where are they? She just said, "Oh, it's a myth. There is no balance. You can't miss. You can't miss any moment of the day." Yet here you are with 30 tour dates, traveling the world, doing news, doing television interviews, doing all this stuff that you just said you can wait to do that later. Don't do that with kids. And as soon as he passes away and gets shot in front of everybody, she's now the CEO. She's center stage. She's doing speaking engagements. She's doing media hits non-stop. She's turned into the ultimate feminist out of nowhere. So when he says she's not who she portrays herself to be, she portrayed herself as this woman who said what we just watched her say. But she's not living that at all in any way, shape, or form. But more importantly, I want you guys to hear her response to this. Because there's no beating, I mean, unless you're going to argue that she was wrong, what, a year ago, less than a year ago? But now she's not. Now she's a super feminist. No longer are you the traditional woman who wants to raise her kids and do that kind of thing. Again, if you're not that type of woman, you don't have to be, but don't say it and then live the opposite life. Because then you look crazy. Another thing that adds to people calling her fake. Let's see if he's gonna.
Study shows that married women with kids are the happiest. Why do you think that is? I mean, it's just nature. I mean, just becoming a CEO of a shoe company is not going to give you happiness.
Women have it so mixed up. You can have a career after children, but if you try to have a career while you have your kids, there is no such thing as balance. That is such a myth. I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So like you have to choose where your heart has to be fully with the home. You have to make that decision on your own, but you can always, after your kids are in school or after they're in high school, you can always go back to work. You can always find a way to get back into the workforce. But if you miss those precious first few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than an added paycheck. And
now this is her now. Listen to what she's worried about. Listen to her concerns now. Because after her husband's gone. Matter of fact, mind you, that's their father. So not only did they lose him, but now she's gone because she's out being a boss lady, CEO of a company she didn't know about it. Is she qualified to run a 9-figure company? Or could you get somebody else to do that and you stay home with your kids like you said you would do? But as soon as he's gone, you're out and about.
Those precious first few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than an added paycheck. And he had made mention at the end, like, you know, Erika will do a great job running it.
Like, okay. I think that sums up the frustration which a lot of people have with Erika Kirk right now,
so
and the behavior that she's currently putting out there.
Okay, have you listened to Erika's testimony by any chance?
Which testimony?
Of her life.
We just listened.
I've listened to a number of different Erika Kirk pieces of content since she took over as the CEO of Turning Point USA.
Well, a huge part of her testimony is that she was the career-driven boss babe. Like that was absolutely what she was all about because she was raised by a single mom. She was raised that you should not rely on a man.
Okay, so you're admitting what I just said about her continual striving to be this star.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So it wasn't until, and she says, it wasn't until I met Charlie Kirk that that perspective completely changed. And I realized that having, you know, getting married, having children, building a family, building a legacy, that was absolutely far and above more important. And my calling to motherhood was far more important than a career and being a boss babe, right? And so she acknowledges this, that I was living one life, and meeting Charlie completely changed those values and those perspectives. Now, her husband was taken from her. He was killed, right? She did not have a choice in anything that's going on with Turning Point and stepping up to become the CEO and trying to now juggle being the CEO of Turning Point.
Yes, she did, Lisa. Yes, she did. She had the choice. She didn't have to become CEO.
She had a choice for her husband to be assassinated in front of the world.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I said she had the choice to become the CEO of Turning Point USA.
She no longer has the privilege to just sit at home and take care of her children. She does not have a husband.
She's got to go out.
Charlie was a very wealthy man. I don't know what the life insurance. Charlie was a very wealthy man. I don't know what the life insurance policy was, but he was also getting paid. He was also getting paid pretty well. He was also getting paid.
It's not about money. It's not about a 9-to-5. It's not about a career. She said,
what is it?
So much more than that. It's about his legacy and what he built and making sure that it.
So I want to show you guys something. So, how much money is Erika Kirk worth? I know she says it's not about money, but humor me on this. Make this larger. Between $14 and $22 million. And there's an increase since he passed away. So she's making more money now that he's gone to work. So I want you guys to hear what she's saying. There you go, Lou. Exactly. So that's what I'm getting at. His legacy is not his work. You don't take over a man's work when he passes away. You take care of his kids.
She can't just sit at home.
1 second. Because what she just said is really important. She says she has to work. Doesn't matter if she's got 22 million. She's got to focus on his legacy. So his kids aren't his legacy.
Privilege to just sit at home and take care of her children. She does not have a husband.
Charlie was a very wealthy man. I don't know what the life insurance. Charlie was a very wealthy man. I don't know what the life insurance policy was, but he was also getting paid.
Matter of fact, I bet you they had a really nice life insurance policy also, because he was worth around 10 to 15 himself. Pretty sure it all went to her and his kids. I guarantee somebody like him, I guarantee he had a life insurance policy on top of all of this.
He was also getting paid pretty well. He was also getting paid.
It's not about money. It's not about a 9-to-5. It's not about a career. She said,
what is it?
So much more than that. It's about his legacy and what he built and making sure that it continues. She can't just sit at home and cry, Zach. She could take off, what, 5? How many months will be good enough for you? 6? A year? 2? How long should she sit at home and cry every day?
How long should she sit at home and cry every day? Well, I'd take her at her word and say when her kids are in high school or after high school. Then she doesn't have to cry. She can literally do what she said. So at this point, she's arguing against Erika Kirk and her own words. You know how I know? Because she said it. Erika, what should you do? What should you do?
I am in charge of certain things, guardian of the home, helping with the children, That is so I can make it easy for my husband to do what he needs to do. There's a balance there.
I mean, just becoming a CEO of a shoe company is not going to give you happiness.
Women have it so mixed up. You can have a career after children, but if you try to have a career while you have your kids, there is no such thing as balance. That is such.
There's no such thing as balance. That is such
a myth. I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So like you have to choose where your heart has to be fully with the home.
Where is your heart if you're saying, well, his legacy is outside of the home? Is it still at home? Or is it with work?
Have to make that decision on your own, but you can always, after your kids are in school or after they're in high school, you can always go back to work. You can always.
After they're in high school. When? Did she just say after high school? Their kids are 1 and 3 or 2 and 4.
Always find a way to get back into the workforce, but if you miss those precious
You don't want to miss those precious
first
years.
few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than an added paycheck. I just
And look, it's how God has wired us, and it's our nature, which is to have children, not just have a bigger bank account.
They both literally said, they gave the answer to your question, Miss Lisa.
That's good enough for you. Because when she comes back, it may not be there. It would be burnt to the ground by then.
Oh,
Is that what you want her to do?
I think
She doesn't have the
don't-
privilege of having a husband. That privilege has been taken.
I don't think that Erika Kirk is continuing Charlie's legacy on. I think Erika Kirk cares about Erika Kirk.
I think
That's what I think. I think that
that's
she
completely
is.
subjective,
I
and
think
there's
she
no
loves.
facts in that at all.
I think she loves the spotlight.
Well, there is a fact in that because she literally just said that she has to make a choice. Women have to make a choice with the home and the kids or work, because she said it is a myth that there's balance, because there is not. So what this lady is saying completely contradicts Erika Kirk while she's trying to defend Erika Kirk. That's her position. Why are you so, like, she's getting all riled up? She doesn't like that we got to see what Erika said and how it's a huge contradiction because her kids are only 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. One of those two. I don't remember. She's worth $22 million. She does not need to work. You're saying, well, what is she supposed to do? Just stay home and cry all day? No, or she can take care of the kids, because I'm sure they're crying because they miss their father. I'm pretty sure they care more about him than his other legacy, which is about votes. Was it great while he was around? Yes, because he was running it. But what you're saying essentially is Erika needs to focus on the votes like Charlie did. But she said there's no balance between that and her own kids.
And that's based on the observation of what I see in her behavior since Charlie has died.
And Charlie
I think
didn't like the
there is
spotlight?
there is not one
Charlie didn't like the
moment
spotlight.
where Erika Kirk will not pass up something good for social media.
That's not true.
It's
They
very
just-
true.
They literally just did another tour stop on the Make Heaven Crowded, and she was not there because her.
Yeah, but she's got 30 tour dates. And it is February. So how many months are there? Oh, and that's through November. So how many times a month is she traveling the world to do this? This is not including media that she does. So just because she wasn't at this one event, she's still got probably about 28 more to go. And her kids are 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. They're kids, they're babies. This is their development stage. This is where they look at you and learn everything. My son would literally mimic things that I was doing or that I would say at these ages. They're sponges, but she's not there. She's doing exactly what she said. There's no balance, and it's not possible to do.
Her mom is also dying. Didn't know if you were aware, but her mom is literally dying right now, and so she is her power of attorney. So she's responsible.
All the more reason to be at home and not be CEO. Like, she's literally destroying her own art. There's no work that needs to be done here. But I would stop her and say that's all the more reason for her to not do this. Oh, what is she supposed to do? She's in a lose-lose situation. No, she's not. She has her family that she could be with, and she's choosing to do other stuff. If she's got a mother who's passing away, which I've seen her say that, be with her. Why are you out with this pervert, Greg Lowry? Why are you doing this? Trying to get votes. That's really what you think Charlie Kirk would have wanted.
For her mother's medical care, which shows that her mother has deteriorated so much that she's not able to make medical decisions for herself because Erika Kirk is now her power of attorney medically. So not only is she trying to juggle turning points, her children, the death of her husband, but now she's actively watching her mother basically die in front of her and trying to spend every minute that she can with her and make every memory that she can with her.
How can you spend every minute that you can with your mom if you're juggling that with being CEO of a 9-figure company? It's not possible. I don't know if this lady's ever led anything in her life when it comes to business. It's not possible. She's choosing her situation right now. she could be with her parent or with her kids, and they could all be with her mom, and their kids can be getting to know their mom for this last however long her mom has. Totally possible. That's what she could be doing. She's choosing to go on tour 30 times from January 1st to November. She's choosing to be in the media and doing all these interviews. She did 6 media hits in December. She's doing all this. So why would I feel sorry for her if she's choosing to be away from her family to work? And what she says, she's doing it for her dead husband. No, this is for you. There's no way he would have wanted it. You know how I know? We just watched him say there's more about the kids than there is a check or a CEO of a company. He literally said it out of his mouth. And she agreed until he's gone. And this lady, Lisa, says, well, she said that that's how she used to be until she met Charlie Kirk. So that means as soon as he dies, you go back to how you used to be? Then was that really change? No, not in my opinion. No.
And her children. And so at the end of the day, no, like she has not. Candace Owens is in front of a camera more times a week than Erika Kirk is. You've got to be freaking kidding me.
I am very sorry to hear about Erika's mother. And
she does this thing where Candace Owens is in front of the camera more. Candace Owens is at home. She homeschools. She has 4 kids. She doesn't leave to do her podcast. Erika literally leaves the state and the country to do this tour. These are babies who lost their father. And now, apparently, because their mom wants to uphold his legacy, they're losing her too. Who are they with? Her mom? Oh no, her mom's sick too. So she's prioritizing. So, mom, I know you're sick. I know you're dying. Gotta go. Kids, I know you guys lost your father. Gotta go. That's what she's doing. She's escaping responsibility. She's not taking on anything. This is not admirable in any way.
But the only reason that I know about that is because Erika Kirk put it on social media of her mother dying.
Because she has said in interviews that she is juggling being her power of attorney, and because she was asked about keeping a Sabbath, and she said, I'm trying to, as best as I can, I have to kind of piece parts of it together because I have to be available for my mom as her power of attorney, to be available for her appointments. And if something comes up, if there's an emergency, I'm the person. So she literally talked about like juggling all of that. And so, yeah, I think she's trying to give more context into her life because she's talked about these things in interviews, and people are just going to say that she's lying. And so
she said in public interviews, can I just have my one thing? Can I just have my private life? When she's out there filming herself crying over Charlie's
that's
corpse.
Absolutely false. What she said is, can I have one thing on where Charlie is buried, because the public would vandalize it?
She said, can I just have one thing? Can I just have one thing? Can I just have one thing? Like, it's pretending that she wants everything to be, she just needs this private. She just needs this private stuff. Nothing is private with her.
Completely out of context. She said, can I have one thing mentioning where Charlie is buried and having a private place to go and visit his body and take her children there privately? That is where she mentioned, can we just have one thing that is private for just our family?
And so she's correct on that. She is correct on that. Problem with that is she's acting as if that's the only thing she needs private. She could make everything private and not be out in front doing tours with perverts. This is all her. She's choosing this. She's not a very good decision maker, as we know. At least since she was 25 years old. She's not a very good decision maker.
How do you go from, you said that what Erika Kirk was prior to Charlie was this aspiring boss babe, want to be a star, want to make it. You know, you go and look at her Wikipedia, you go and look at her profile, impressive resume, America's boss babe. That, like, that again, that's who Erika Kirk wanted to be. She says that when she met Charlie, those things changed, and you just saw that video right there. Now Charlie is gone, and now she's back to America's boss babe. So did those values just get thrown out the window because she still has 2 kids?
No, Zach, her husband was assassinated.
Okay, fine. She doesn't need the money. If she wants Charlie's legacy to continue on, my opinion on what Erika Kirk should have done is hire an interim CEO. It sounds like she's got a lot going on right now.
She
doesn't really have time to be the front man for Turning Point USA and Turning Point USA Faith and all of these things, and endorsing JD Vance and all of these things that she's doing, running AmFest. Like, she is not She is literally not who who she says that she was in that video that we just saw, and she's not. She obviously,
yeah, it's almost like
doesn't.
people grow up and they
She
change.
obviously
That
doesn't
wild
care.
concept. I know.
You grow up and you go backwards. So, oh, it's almost like you grow up and you change, Zach. You go backwards as you grow up and change, because she's going backwards. Meanwhile, her kids are at home. No father and no mother. Her mom is sick and she's out traveling. Do you not grasp this idea and how horrible this is? She is making lifelong decisions or life impacting decisions on her mother and her 2 babies. They're toddlers. And you're saying, well, what else is she supposed to do? She's changing. She has to run this company. Really?
Obviously cares more about being the front man of Turning Point USA, being the CEO of Turning Point USA, being that person that's out there than she does to be home and taking care of her kids.
And
so,
where are you getting that from?
From reality, from literally observing reality.
That she's putting that in front of
Not a
that. No, I think that these things can, again, 2 things can be true at the same time. Turning Point can be very important and valuable to her because it's literally what her husband built from the time he was 18 until the literal moment that he took his last breath. He died literally doing Turning Point, right? And so, yeah, this is his legacy on the public stage and everything that he has built with this organization, right? And at the same time, they also built their home and their family. And that's also important. Like, both of these things.
So, one has to be prioritized. You know how I know? Because she said it is a myth to say that it can be balanced. Again, she's arguing against Erika Kirk. For Erika Kirk. She didn't know anybody. She doesn't know what she's talking about. This should be the priority. So in her mind, there should be no priority. The CEO of the company, the daughter of and proxy of a mother and guardianship of her mother, and her babies, all equal. They're all priorities. And obviously, if everything's a priority, none of them are. It's chaos. That's how you get chaos.
Can be equally important at the same time, and she can do both. You do realize that there are mothers who get up and go to work and have children every single day, right?
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I do.
Do they get up and go travel the world with toddlers while they have $22 million? No, they don't.
Do they share the same values as Erika Kirk that she's marketed to us over these past however many years? I share the same values
as Erika Kirk, and I work, Zach.
You work
Lisa,
because you have to.
This has nothing to do with Erika deciding to work. It has everything to do with who she's pretended to say that she was and who she actually is in reality. It's the disconnect from who she says she is versus who she actually is. Do you not understand that?
No, I don't think that you understand that she did not have any choice over this. Her husband was killed. She has lost the privilege to be a stay-at-home mom.
I don't think she has. No, she has not. She has not.
It's stay-at-home or it's stay-at-home or Turning Point completely just falls apart.
That's not true.
Even if that is the option, then Turning Point's got to go because my kids are more important than Turning Point, late. Do you not know what the word priorities means? So she's literally putting his kids up with his company and saying, well, what's she supposed to do? Choose? Yes. I would hope so. She's worth $22 million. That company has several people in it that could easily move from COO to CEO. They don't need her. If she really wants a say, get on the board. Stay on the board. Be the chair so you have some kind of say. But to say that she has to travel the world, that she has to choose TPUSA over his family, what would you do? I would choose the babies. It's not even close. Not even remotely close.
It's not true.
I do think that's
why wouldn't she be able to hire a CEO at Turning Point USA and still make money off of the ownership that she has?
Because the CEO was not in the weeds with it the way that she was with Charlie. She's said multiple times, I was Charlie's vault. He poured everything into me. And you should know, as a spouse, your spouse should be your vault. My husband pours everything into me and I share everything with him. There's no secrets between us. Everything is exchanged. She literally says, I have journals going 10 years into the future where Charlie put down every instruction, every detailed everything for this company and this organization and how he wanted it to go. She knows intimate things that we will never know about Charlie Kirk. She is the person.
Okay, so how about she share all that with the new CEO? And then she's not the only person. This is beyond wild. This is and how passionate she is over this is just it's really interesting to me, which is why I was like, oh, I gotta react to this. This is crazy. And she's genuine. That's why I said earlier, I don't think she's lying. She believes what she's saying, which is why I'm not going in on her like I would if I thought she was dishonest, because I don't like liars. She doesn't seem to be lying. She's just very naive, very passionate, very emotional, but she's not using her rationale all the way through. She picks and chooses when it applies. Yeah, he set this woman up to never have to work again so that she can focus on his babies, on her babies. Where is that maternal instinct? Because she's saying, oh, she has no choice. She's got to go run this company. I would argue Tyler Boyer could do it. Even Andrew Klovic could do it. Or you can hire somebody else who could do it. Cabot Phillips, the guy she was banging before she met Charlie, who she said that never happened. He might be able to run. He works for Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro. But she's the only one. She has these journals that she can't share with anybody. And she has this blueprint that she can't share with anybody. And she's got 10 years of plans, and she's the only one who knows. Well, then sit at a board meeting and explain them. Make copies. And then you'll have at least 7 people who know.
Look, if I die, you're not going to see my wife come in here and start taking the lead front man on my business and my
your
stuff.
life is also
Like,
not like that of Charlie Kirk, and we cannot understand the life or the lifestyle that they live.
okay, are you going to take over? Are you going to go take over your husband's job if he dies?
Again, it's you can't even compare. That's like apples to oranges. That's not even a fair comparison, and you know it. They are living.
What's funny is I think it was Tim Dillon said, if Patrick Mahomes got injured, this would be like his wife stepping in as the quarterback of the Chiefs. Just because the husband does it and he passes away doesn't mean the wife can just come in and do the job. The thought period is weird. When they said it, I was like, she doesn't even work for them. She interviewed, but he wouldn't let her work for them. Like, how is she going to run this company? And the only people I see that were good with this are people who've never run anything, or snakes in his circle saying, oh, that's perfect. We can launder all kind of money. That's the only people who would say that she can do this. No, she can't. She's not a CEO. She's never led anything except for charities that she got expelled from countries over. She ran a clothing line also. It didn't go anywhere, so it's not successful. So what qualifies her to run a 9-figure business, nonprofit, which is even harder? Is you got to count for different things. This is not just straight profit. You can't just go off a profit margin. You're not supposed to be profiting. So now you're dealing with federal government, and it's completely different. It's a whole different world. But she has to do it. Patrick Mahomes, he got hit by a car. Where's his wife? That's not how it works. There's merit in this country, in this world. If you cannot do something, somebody else can. She should be taking care of her mother and her baby.
A life that none of us will be able to understand. You are trying to hold Erika Kirk to a standard way outside of her reality. I can't even imagine how frustrating that would be.
Erika Kirk looks like she was very happy just to toss out all of those values that you just heard her talk about when Charlie was alive, to snap right into America's Boss Babe CEO, collecting the merch sales for Turning Point USA, being the front man at the Make Heaven Crowded tour.
Like, this is her husband. And so,
what?
Yeah, this
comes down to what?
That you hold to the fact that you think she killed her husband. And so ultimately you
Wow, that's a leap. That's a leap.
She's responsible for this. So of course you think that she's primed herself to be in this.
So she does this thing where she's trying to guilt people for disagreeing with her. You think we should lock her up and throw her into the prison. Now you think that she unalived her husband. It's like, huh? Where'd that come from? I know where it came from. It came from X. She goes through these posts and believes that everybody thinks like that. Who said that? But the only way you can disagree with me is if you think she unalived Charlie Kirk. All right. So that's what we're doing here.
This position. I believe that this is something that happened to her. You believe that this is something that she made happen, possibly. And so that's where we're going to disagree.
Yeah, I don't think that that's fair. I don't think that that's fair. My criticism of Erika Kirk
Clearly not fair.
has developed over the last few months. And
Do you
I understand
believe that she's responsible for killing her husband?
I think that as a part of this investigation, all of the leads should be looked into. I don't believe the lone wolf narrative. I'll come out and say that right now. I want to know of any outside influence or covert influence that was taking place, how Tyler Robinson was involved in this whole thing. I think there were others involved in it. I think that it's bigger than just Tyler Robinson, and I think that these leads need to be investigated. That's what I think. That's what I think. And I think that
I
Candace
don't think there's
Owens
enough facts or evidence to support that at all. But
you don't think there's facts or evidence to support that this is bigger than Tyler Robinson? If that's the case, then you're just not paying attention.
I think that he was in chat rooms with other like hardcore liberal lefties that were indoctrinated by all of this like trans ideology, whatever. And yeah, sure, we can look into who was funneling money to him through different organizations. And those, again, they've got all of his Discord conversations and online conversations. And I'm sure that they are and have looked at those people. But as far as anyone at Turning Point and Erika herself, absolutely not. I think that that's absurd. And there's no evidence or proof to support that they were connected to it in any way, shape, or form.
As far as that goes, I think it's definitely interesting and worth it to pursue all of the leads, whether inside Turning Point USA or outside.
We don't know what the FBI is pursuing or investigating because they haven't told us, and they're not going to tell us.
So aren't you concerned that we are not going to be told the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk?
I think during the trial we will be told. But in the meantime,
I'm skeptical. Skeptical. Let's just leave it at that. We've been through what? We've been through a whole bunch of conspiracies that we've been told that we're crazy for believing that have all turned out to be true. You yourself are vouching for the Epstein file to be released.
Have you read the affidavit on Tyler Robinson?
It's not affidavit.
I have, actually. Yes, I have.
Indictments.
So I mean, they're pointing to a lot of evidence there that like you can't just fake things like that. But okay. At the end of the day,
Lisa, are you not concerned that our authorities will not tell us the truth? Are you concerned that our government will not tell us the truth? Yes or no?
I don't trust our government, but I do believe, again, if you look at what's happening in that courtroom, it is Turning Point and Erika Kirk who are trying to get transparency in this case. It is Tyler Robinson and his defense attorneys who are trying to keep transparency and to keep cameras out of the courtroom. They don't want you to know things. In fact, they're filing motions on top of their motions to keep things secret and to cover the reasons on why they want them to be secret. It's
because he is the defendant and he's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. They don't want the world looking at him and assuming that he's guilty. See how that works? Like, what is she talking about? If they wanted transparency, they'd be asking for a release of these details. Doesn't mean that the feds are going to do it, but the feds aren't running this case. Utah is, the state is.
Unprecedented what they're actually doing in the courtroom, and it actually shows, again, Erika is the one pushing for transparency here. It is not Tyler Robinson and his team. They are doing the opposite. They don't want you to see in that courtroom.
Yeah, because they say, and legally he's innocent until proven guilty. Why would he want these people to smear, I'm saying he, why would his attorneys want their client to be smeared publicly? And if he gets deemed not guilty, which I think he's going to be, unless he's part of a conspiracy, the rest of his life, everyone's going to be pointing out all these details of things that they say he did. Of course, the defense is going to try to stop that.
If it turns out that in the courtroom, they put the evidence forth, they show the videos, it's all conclusive. They show the video of Tyler Robinson walking up onto the roof. It's a verified video. They show him taking the shot. Like, I'm willing to sit here. I just want to know the truth. I just want to know the truth. And I am very concerned.
Until we get closer to the trial, because the state is not going to show all of their cards to the defense before we get into the trial. That would be the dumbest move ever. Like,
it's almost time for me to pick up my son. But just so you guys understand, what she just said is so wrong, and I've heard and seen people say this plenty of times, and she could not be more wrong, because there's my alarm to go get it. This is the reality. Because I just put, what evidence is the defense entitled to from the prosecution? The defense is entitled to a broad range of evidence and information from the prosecution. They have a right to know everything that the defense has. What they don't have a right to is strategy. So there is no evidence that is going to come out that the defense doesn't have to be included in it, whether it's favorable for their client or not. They have a right to see all of it. So what she's saying is wrong. What he does not have a right to, let's see, is let's see, limits. Okay, what they're strategizing in their work product, attorney-client privilege, they don't have a right to that. But when it comes to like actual evidence, they oh, here we go. Protected information, like who was a snitch? Irrelevant information. They don't have a right to stuff if it does not have anything to do with guilt or innocence. But anything that is evidence, they have a right to. The prosecution has to give to him. So what she just said, and oh, they're not going to tell him what they have. That'd be crazy. You're wrong. She's wrong. And it just shows she doesn't know what she's talking about.
I am concerned that they will not divulge the full truth to us. I think that in order to keep us safe and for our own good, they will tell us that Tyler Robinson was a lone wolf. It wasn't anything bigger, even if it really was, so that the consequences are not catastrophic, so that the people in power can stay in power. That is what I'm concerned about. And I think the only way
And you
only
think
way
that
we can
Erika
fight
and
that,
Turning Point are connected to Tyler Robinson? How?
why do you keep bringing in Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk
Because you
to
said
the
that
Charlie
they should
Kirk
be
investigation?
investigated. Why should they be investigated? You said all leads need to be looked at. Okay, but you would have to make a connection from Tyler Robinson to Turning Point and Erika Kirk. Where?
This is under the assumption that Tyler Robinson did it. So he's guilty until proven innocent. She's concluded in her mind, well, you have to connect him because he did it. That's not how this country works. That's not at all how this country works. Well, the only way you can bring up any evidence is if it's tied to Tyler Robinson because he did it. Lady, that's not true. It's just not true. Where is this? This is. I've shown this before. Over half of people dying are victims of someone they know. Family member, friend, acquaintance. This is literally what happens.
This connection at? Why are we saying that they're involved
That's
somehow
the connection.
when nobody can connect these
Not
individuals?
necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, for example, I think Lance Twiggs was involved. I think he was involved that day. And they're like, and again, what is the exact connection? I don't know. But the point is that we want all of these leads and all of these avenues investigating. And I think
so
that
does Erika Kirk. You and Erika agree on something. I'm so glad.
then why would you tell Candace Owens to stop? If somebody, let me just ask you this. If somebody at Turning Point USA,
and she doesn't even present real evidence, she's not a journalist.
if somebody at Turning Point USA, if they were somehow involved in this or had some connection, wouldn't that be a very important piece of information to know? So
Again,
why wouldn't Erika want to look whether internally or externally to find out the truth about what happened to her husband?
You would have to make a plausible connection between Tyler Robinson and Turning Point, and that has never. There's nothing like I don't even know where people would be pulling that from. Like, where are we going to link these two? Like,
the connection doesn't.
There does not have to be a connection to the person you think did it. The only reason you think he did it because you were told that the police think he did it. But if it turns out he didn't do it, and you didn't investigate anything else but this guy, that means you fogged up your own possibilities in the investigation. And this case, well, we won't see any evidence at least until the beginning of next year. And by then, people are going to be moving on. And this is what they did with every political assassination in the history of this country. From MLK to JFK, we just got those files. And they do that because, and they're able to do that because they just keep pushing it out. We'll find out in 2027. Okay. And then if we find out that he didn't do it in 2027, you're ignoring all the evidence to other people right now. Well, we can just start the investigation over. Does that make sense? Trump got shot last year, almost a year ago now. We still don't know anything about that guy. Like, there's people getting unalived, and in her mind, it makes sense to just wait. I don't trust the government, but we need to listen to the government. Obviously, they gave us all this evidence in the affidavit. It's not an affidavit. It was the indictment. These were all the charges. And if there's any other evidence for any other charges, the defense knows those. There's nothing new going to come out. What's known is known. They're not investigating. They said they stopped.
The connection doesn't have to be between Tyler Robinson and Turning
That he
Point.
took the shot. If he took the shot,
Allegedly,
there has to be a
allegedly,
connection.
allegedly, we're innocent.
See?
It's innocent until proven guilty here in America.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
you don't know
yes.
that for sure.
He took the
Allegedly,
shot.
if he took the shot, you would have to have a link between those two, and there just isn't anything to be had. That's ridiculous.
Okay, your analysis.
I'm almost done. This is almost done. If he took the shot and did it, just him, right? And then O Speaks, the COO, was funneling money to outside countries and receiving money from outside countries. And I don't want anyone to know that I'm doing that. I will do exactly what TPUSA is doing and not say anything, because I'm trying to keep investigations away. It doesn't mean that I'm connected to Tyler Robbins, even if he 100% did it. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't be investigated. In her mind, Tyler Robinson is the only person who should be investigated. That's not how any investigation has ever worked, ever. Because the first thing they do is they start chasing leads, meaning this is a possibility. You go find out who this person is. Question them. You go find out. And that's what they do. A lot of them are dead ends. That doesn't mean you're not providing evidence. This is their expectation of Candace Owens. And it's dumb. That's not how it works. She doesn't have to come up with an alternative. I don't want to say perpetrator, because suspect. She doesn't have to come up with alternative suspects. She can question people and say, is this a suspect? It's not up to her to figure that out. It's up to the officials to do that. And if she says, hey man, this person over here is acting really suspicious. This person over here is acting really suspicious. This is what the feds are supposed to be doing, but the feds aren't doing it. It's Utah. So this is what Utah is supposed to be doing. Anyone who's acting shady, they need to be spoken to. And there are a lot of very credible things that are coming up. There's a guy named Baron Coleman who has a channel. I gotta go. I appreciate everybody for coming. It's getting really close. I got like 10 minutes to get to my boys' school, pick them up. I think I got 2 minutes left.
As far as I'm looking at the Charlie Kirk investigation, which I care a lot about. Like and you can probably relate to this, and probably everybody here listening for the most part probably can. Like, especially as Christians who are on the right, every single one of us took Charlie Kirk's assassination personally. Everybody did. Like, we all care about it. I think some of us are more skeptical than others that we're actually being told the truth. And I think we need the people. I think we need someone like Candace Owens, especially in this day and age when we're not told the truth about hardly anything, to go guns blazing, flip over every stone, burn every bridge, to find out what the truth is. Like,
No.
That's what I think. I think that there is value there. I think she's brought a lot of very good points to the table. Has she been perfect? Not 100% of the time, but she's also made adjustments and gone back and admitted and made corrections, which nobody on your side ever talks about, right?
I gotta end this. I'll drop the link. Maybe we can come back, and if you guys want to like actually talk about this, maybe we can come back. I apologize, Mel, but I gotta go. I can't drop the link. I want to too. This one I really wanted to, because it's fascinating to me, and how sure this lady is, and how much she's willing to speculate, to me is very, very interesting, because I think she's genuine, which is why I didn't bash her. I could have. If I thought she was dishonest, I would have destroyed her. Lou Jenkins, thank you. Mel Dub, I appreciate you, man. Lester, thank you, sir. Not worth it. Thank you so much. G Will, as always, thank you. Miss Phoenix Rising, thank you. Miss Baker, Dre, appreciate you, man. Juicy Fruit, thank you guys all for stopping by. KMC, KTC, Dantana, thank you all. Appreciate you. But I gotta go get myself. And I am gone.